Wake up with the sun in a steaming cup. Tune into the show where the vibes heat up. The Morning Mac got the flavor, got the glow. Start it right, let your energy flow. High takes rising like the morning brew. Fresh ideas and a laugh or two. From the first headline to your daily dose. This is the show where your spirit goes. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Sip it slow, feel the rhythm hit your toes. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. Dreams alive. The Mac got the groove, keeping you in stride. No snooze, just choose to wake up bold. This is your hour, let your story unfold. New ideas with the sunrise spark. Fuel for your fire when the world feels dark. Spinning the tracks of your mental glow. Every listen's a hit on the Morning Mac Show. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. With a sunrise spark, fuel for your fire when the world feels stark. We're spinning the tracks of your mental glow. Every listen's a hit on the Morning Mac Show. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Sip it slow, feel the rhythm hit your toes. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. Where the good vibes grow. Roll out of bed, bring your dreams alive. The Mac got the groove, keeping you in stride. No snooze, just choose to wake up bold. This is your hour, let your story unfold.
Grand rising to all my brethren, my brothers and sisters out there. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. There's no rain. There's no snow. But I need some more warmth. Come on, sun, shine through. Warm up the earth like it used to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy. I am in good spirits. I am festive. I did a look back. It's good to reflect on the Most High and how He carried you when you didn't have the strength to stand up and walk. Those footprints in the sands was Him, was the Almighty. When you're leaning on God, like I said, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, and I'm just so thankful because a lot of times I could have been gone, but I'm here, and I believe that I'm here for a reason. Whatever it is, whatever it's tasked me to do, I'm going to do it. Even placed with adversity can sometimes get in our way, but like I said yesterday, it's the fight, and I'm not going to give up. I'm gonna keep going and going, and they keep taking stuff from me, and I keep going and going. I'm gonna get it back on the back end. They was like, "Oh, you can't do this." I'm like, "Yes, I can." Oh, this is that. I'm like, let me show you another way of doing it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. My granddad used to say that. Not until I became an adult that I know that he was just saying there's more than one way to go around something. There's more than one avenue. There's more than one way to get around. As long as you keep moving, that's the key. You got to keep moving to not to give up. So what? Something's in your way. If you just sit there, it's going to stay in your way. If you just sit there, you'll never go through it. But if you get to moving and you get to moving around that joker, you say, "Oh wow, I could have went around it. I could have went over it. I could have went under it." But if you stay stagnant in your growth, listen to me, people. If this is Tall Tale Thursday, but this is some real shiznit. If you stay stagnant in your growth and cannot move forward, there's a problem. There's a problem. Something blocking your way. There's a problem. Look within to try to solve first. If you can't do it with all that you have in you, then it's okay to reach out to family, friends, and loved ones, or people who just care. I hear a lot of people saying, "I ain't got no family, I ain't got no friends," but there's somebody that cares. Somebody reach out to somebody that cares for that extra help or support. You go to prayer first. You lean on God's everlasting arm, okay? Because He ain't gonna never let you fall. And if you do fall because of the snares and the traps of the enemy, pray and call on Him, and He'll be there to catch you, so you don't hit that ground as hard as you normally would. Take the blessings and the lessons in the journey. That's all I'm saying. Me and toast. Me and coffee. This is a Jamaican artist. Anyway, enough ranting and all that good stuff. It's a beautiful day. I'm clearing up. My Molly Moss Sea Moss is on deck. Boo, boo, boo. And what's on deck is my lovely, lovely book, Shades of Blue by A.M. Morning. I'm excited about these two products because it's good. This is good, and this is good. If it was some shiznit, I would tell you that. But hey, if it was a slow drizzle, I would tell you that. But those two things are good things to have on deck and on fleek at all times. And people, when you get the product and you like it, share it. Our people perish for the lack of knowledge. Because if you got something good, and it's vitamins and that sea moss, it helps you with all these other stuff. Why don't you share that? Why wouldn't you want to share something? You want to be the only one good and healthy walking around while your family and loved ones and your brothers and sisters and everybody else, "Oh, I'm suffering with this. Oh, this hurt, that hurt. Oh, my stomach. Oh, I'm pooping, can't pass gas. Oh, I keep getting away." All of that stuff. Share the goodness. We want happy people. Happy people. Share the goodness. Molly Moss Sea Moss. Let me show y'all the goodness that I'm sharing with you all. I'm dropping it in knowledge form. Is Molly Moss Sea Moss. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a subscriber. And I'm the president of the corporation. This book right here is some good piece of fictional literature. I said a fictional literature, but there's so many lessons in here and so many stuff you can learn. There's so many, old age attitudes, stuff that your parents or your grandparents would say. What's in there? All the goodness and healthy, good stuff to keep you growing. It's in there. All the wisdom and the right stuff to say when you meet adversity. It's in there. And all of the trials and tribulation that we go through as people, it's in there. Pick it up. Like it. Enjoy it. With all that being said, I'm going to bring in my panel, bring in my super producers. I'm going to bring in the gang. Start with my super producers, Molly Mall and Big Money Trey.
Wake up with the sun in a steaming cup. Tune into the show where the vibes heat up. The morning Mac got the flavor, got the glow. Start it right, let your energy flow. High takes rising like the morning brew. Fresh ideas and a laugh or two. From the first headline to your daily dose. This is the show where your spirit goes. Oh, it's the morning Mac. Where the time don't drag.
What up, Auntie?
Good
morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Auntie.
Hey.
Auntie in the house early.
Yeah.
What up, Cal? What up, JB in the building? They started early. Cal said rising, y'all. He also said, yeah, until people realize you've been out there just skinning cats, Reese.
He said people been out there.
He said, yeah, until people realize you've been out there just skinning cats. When you said there's plenty ways to skin a cat, remember? He was just cracking a joke. What up, JB?
Yes, indeed.
He said, right, keep moving.
I seen y'all reactions on the morning page immediately. We didn't even get to the countdown all the way before I seen that. I put that in the private chat. Said JB and Kyle already in this joint.
Winners never quit and quitters never win.
Yeah.
That is so true. Winners never quit and quitters never win.
Got it. That's all good.
You know, just like if you don't ask, the answer is no. You already we ain't going that way. We ain't going that way. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. And as somebody like Auntie Felicia who watched my growth and stuff, she know I don't quit. I never did quit. When I was a little girl, I was so stubborn and quitting. This is a true story. I don't know when to quit, but she almost knocked all of my teeth out my mouth. And I still did not. My grandmother had to step in and say, "Don't you hit that child no more." But I didn't quit. I didn't quit. But I learned a lesson. I learned a very valuable lesson, knowing when to quit. I learned that. I didn't quit.
When to hold and when to fold. Yeah, that makes sense.
When to hold them and when to fold them. Mm-hmm. And Felicia bankrupted me. Like,
man?
My baby teeth is gone.
I know it ain't gonna be unsolicited. You did something because the way she be telling you shit on here, I know. Yeah, if she correcting you about something, if something happened. It wasn't just I'm gonna decide to mollywop your ass. Nah, something happened. So don't even try to do Auntie like that. What's up, Auntie?
I was 7 years old.
Hey, baby.
I was smelling myself because I looked at my aunt and uncles as brothers and sisters. Like I was just as old as they were.
I feel you, yeah.
So I was 7 years old and I thought I was just as old as they were. Like, because I never even called her Aunt Ann. I just called her Ann. Because just like my brother.
Okay. Yeah. Same with me. Yeah.
And so she told me I was running in and out the house. You know how you open the refrigerator, you looking? And she was like, come back in the refrigerator because you ain't doing nothing. I was like, you don't tell me what to do. And I opened it again, and she closed it, and then I said, the word bitch came out my mouth like this, bitch. Then she smacked, she said, what? And I'm like, okay, maybe she didn't hear me when I said it. Bitch, what? Then I was like, why is that word triggering her? Let me try it again. Bitch, what?
Y'all got.
And I was like, bitch. And it was, and then my grandmother thought that Ann was just beating me down. So I said, Grandma, it's a good thing you got her, because I was about to fuck her up.
Hell yeah.
She said, I ought to whoop your ass.
I kind of wish I had some of that energy. Not wish I got my ass whooped. But wish I just had some of that stern community, like, stuff that I hear, like you and Molly and stuff talk about, like everybody in the neighborhood was involved and stuff, So I wish I had that. I could have used some of that shit, honestly.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I had that because I was one of those curious kids that do stupid stuff, because I was just curious. I wasn't bad. I wasn't hard. My mind kept going and going and going, just like my mouth kept going. My brain kept going. I kept doing stuff. It was one of those.
Yeah.
And I don't believe they nourished it properly because they just didn't know how. I should have been in some type of activity, some type of class, some type of I should have been that little fat kid on that jewelry commercial and said, "Nobody bothers me. Nobody
I'm
bothers
dead.
me either." I should have been, but at the time it was just like, go sit down. That was the remedy for everything. Go sit down and go lay down, go take a nap. That was the remedy for everything. So, and switches back then. Good old switches. So, now if I had a child like I was then, I would like, yeah, let me get her into something because she's too active. Her mind, her thinking, her thoughts, or whatever. They need to be into something because that's something that child got to give nourishment. Instead of just doing a robot in front of the family at 2 o'clock in the morning when everybody laughing on you waking up. Do that dance. Do that dance. What's that dance they doing? Do the robot. Look at that child. Do the robot. Look at her face. And you up there like a baby doll.
You better be get your hands well. You better get out there and do that little dance real quick.
So it's a what's they call it? It's a learning curve.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
What y'all got to say to
I
that?
don't know. I don't know about y'all, but for me, that was some fun times. Because back in our days, you couldn't be around the adults. So anytime the adults
Yeah,
invited the children to come and entertain them and be a part of the adults, it was fun for the kids. So
because you was
that was
involved,
fun.
you was included, as opposed to
Right.
the being in the back, being in grandma room with all the kids on the video game, or
We didn't
y'all.
have video
No, we
games.
ain't have
I
video
mean,
games.
okay, whatever the example was, you wasn't in the room with the adults. Is my point.
Right.
So whatever room
Yeah.
you was in a different room. So,
So when the adults called you,
but I understand what you're saying.
yeah, they called
Yeah.
you. Hey, come and do. They show us that dance y'all was doing. Whatever. Yeah, we love doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, Showtime Entertainment. Look, and my cousin Ricky, I used to watch them do the dance called a hustle. They used to do that, do little dance, little
You the
hand dance.
hustle.
I
Yeah.
be sitting there eating my potato chips, watching them dance and stuff. That's where I think I got the love for potato chips from. That was like my comfort food. I think my granddaddy started that. I don't know, but I'll be sitting there watching them doing everything, mimicking everything they doing. Because I'm thinking that I'm a big kid too. Because for a while I was the only little kid, so I'm looking and thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna do that dance. I give my little friends, look what I can do, and everything. It was just fun. But I still remember the dance steps, how they used to do it. And I'm gonna show you when I come to North Carolina on May the 23rd. North
Okay.
Carolina, we coming, y'all.
I
Yeah, I'm
can't wait.
excited about that one.
I just threw that
I
in there.
can't wait. Y'all gonna get a real taste of some Southern hospitality.
That's what I need, man.
Yes,
Whatever's on the plate, I'ma eat it.
yes.
In case you don't know, the people may not know, we've locked in, got it booked in and everything. I'm just waiting on the production of the flyers. I can tell you who's going to be on deck, who the players are, and everything now. But on May the 23rd, that's Memorial Day
Real
weekend.
quick, Bree, we got somebody sliding in here this morning.
Oh, okay.
Let me see who it is.
New ideas with a sunrise spark, fuel for your fire when the world feels stark.
See
Oh,
no
okay.
evil. See no evil. Hear no evil. Speak no evil. See no evil. What's up,
Yes.
What's
man?
going on, y'all? What's good?
What's going on? Thank you for tapping in this morning.
How you
Yeah.
been?
I've been good. I've been good, trying to stay warm. You know the weather got a little funky. A little under
Yeah, I
the
feel you.
weather right now, but I'm good.
I hear it. I hear the congestion in the nose.
Yeah. Think somebody left their shoe in there or something. I don't know.
Uh-huh. So you're down, and then remind us where you at again. See no evil.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
y'all got the cold weather down there as well.
Uh, it's warm right now. It's good right now. But it's supposed to get down to 41 tonight.
41 degrees, and that's freezing for y'all.
Yeah, that's pretty cold.
41.
Yeah.
We in 20.
Everybody
41.
break out the Timbs and the fur coats and stuff.
Timbs and fur coats and blankets and everything else. Up here,
Yep.
well, sometimes we was in the single digits with a windshield factor, made it feel like it was 7 degrees outside, stuff like that. 41. Let's get up. We want to get in the 30s. Can we get into 30? We got all these teens and 20s.
You talking about
Shoot.
feel like 7? I think people would die down here if that happened.
No, it's been cold. And
You
we
ain't
got
see
this
on the
last
news?
snowstorm. Mm.
You ain't see on the news all the dead iguanas down here because it got cold.
No, I didn't hear about that. A lot
Yeah.
of what is that going to
Yeah.
do to the environment and the ecosystem?
They just falling out the trees. Look it up. They just fall out the trees.
Wow. Wow, the reptiles and everything going into hibernation. At 41 degrees, I guess it was even lower than that on some days. Wow, I guess they would freeze to death.
Mhm.
Wow.
All the people from Trinidad outside with their rice and beans ready to cook them up.
And get
Don't
ready.
put
Right.
that on them. Do they eat iguanas for real?
Yes, they do.
Oh, it's like gator.
Yeah, a little smaller.
Have you had iguana before? How it tastes?
No, man.
Well, how you know? Well, you said the people from Trinidad do eat iguanas. We will have to do some research on that. An iguana dish.
Yeah, you can have some little brown stew iguana giblets. You don't want that?
No, thank you. No, you go first. You see
Hey.
no evil, but I taste no evil.
I can already tell you, I
no
don't even
evil.
want to eat that.
See?
No thanks.
That's okay. My taste buds are heightened. No, thank you.
If it got
can't
2
wait.
legs, I ain't eating them. I mean, if it got 4 legs, I ain't eating them. I'm straight.
I don't want nothing with 2 legs now.
2
Well,
legs?
yes, I do, because chicken eats 2 legs. I can't wait to get some of my auntie's home cooking. I can't wait to get some of that. So,
That's what I'm looking
Alright.
forward to. Eating them
mm,
iguanas. What's up, butter man?
no,
Yeah, I
no,
mean, sure, you
Iguana-
can watch a live stream and watch somebody in China right now cooking up some street food or something, or in any country, like, pretty much if they streaming it. Nowadays, you better look into it if you want to see it.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the rest of iguana
Yeah.
recipes, see if
You
people
gonna
eat
see it.
iguana. 'Cause he said
Iguana
the people
eyeball
from
soup.
Trinidad.
All right, see no evil. You're gonna have her on here talking about something. Hey y'all, let me show y'all a iguana recipe real quick. Let me show y'all this. No, don't do that. Kyle said I try almost everything once, except for bat. I don't want to join no
Rodent.
plan.
That's rat with wings.
She gonna use the tail for a scrunchie.
Yeah, or something.
Felicia, you want some iguana?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank,
No,
that
thank you.
casual ass. No, thank you. It's funny as shit for some reason to me. No, thank you.
I heard people eat frog and gator and even snake. And I even seen them eat rodent. Well,
As
gator.
pets.
You ain't have to see it.
Taking
You
them home as
tasted it.
pets.
Long as you ate at a Chinese buffet, you don't eat all that.
No, I don't, because I'm
Eating the
I go
pet.
to a Chinese buffet. I don't even
Eating
want
the
the chicken
dog.
unless it got wings. I'm like,
Yeah.
They can't slick nothing in the pasta. I'm like, I don't want that. Well, I don't eat that anyway because I got allergies. So
They be
a lot
like,
of
"Ha, joke
allergies.
on you. Dog have wing too."
No, that's okay. No. You can keep that like no.
Hey,
I'll
hey,
eat-
Reese.
Yeah.
When we're done, we got that first video from Phoenix lined up. That's that
Okay.
question for the morning Mac panel. Something that we're gonna be
yeah.
soliciting to everybody.
Oh yes.
Just wanted to let you know. Didn't want to cut you off, but wanted to let you know.
Okay, we set it up and let's roll it, baby.
All good. Works for me.
Hey, if some y'all want to send in a video, this is the first video sent in on the Morning Mac show. So we got viewers that been sending in their questions. We doing
Yeah, I
video
got any
questions.
Valentine shows coming
Ask
up.
the
Here
morning
go
Mac.
one of them. Yep, here go one of the clips right here. My girl Weezy Wee.
Hey, Morning Mac crew, this is your girl Blue Phoenix. I have a question for the panel. Are you afraid of getting older? And if you are, why?
I'll go first since I'm the oldest.
Love that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, indeed. I enjoy every step of the way, good and bad. No, I look for a lot of people dye their hair because they want to look younger. That's not me. I want to look the age I am.
I know that's right.
I like that, auntie.
Yeah, to me, it don't really have no. I don't have no fear attached to something that I can't control.
Exactly.
Um, I just, I don't know. You live right, and you try to make every step you can right. If you feel like you did something wrong, correct it. And I feel like you don't have any external worries. I think life already offers enough by default. Not to mention whatever situation you walk into, put yourself in or whatever, but life already offers enough. So I don't need to add any extra stresses by worrying about an end date that I don't know. Or I can't determine is coming at a certain time. I can't pinpoint that. So live and enjoy every single day that you have to breathe, and I think that's all you can do. What other option you gonna call a customer service line and extend your time or something like that? So if you can't do that, then I personally wouldn't worry about it. Try to live right. Try to live your life.
See no
Hmm.
evil. What you think? Is he there?
I think so.
Yeah, he just unmuted his mic.
Oh,
I think this whole life is just experiment. Our soul is having.
Yeah, Kyle.
Think out. There's no
mm,
No
reason
reason to
to
be
be
afraid.
afraid.
Nah, that's extra stress.
I think that getting older is a blessing, so I would wish to get old. I would love to be able to get to 80, 90, 100, however long, the older the better, it's just like I get more experience at
Mhm.
life, so I like the idea of it. The only thing I think that people probably think about is mostly death, but they
Really?
don't know if they go after this. I think see no evil having problems over there. I have to get him out of there. He
All
pop
good.
back. But I just think that people fear death. So, I think that they think of just getting old. They just thinking like that what comes with just getting old. You just die. Nah, come with getting old, come with a lot of wisdom. You possibly
mm,
get to meet your grandkids. As a child, I never thought of me having a kid. Now when I have a kid and she getting old, I never thought of me having a grandkid. So to be able to live and see that, that's a blessing to me. That's all a part about getting older. I just think a lot of people just don't like the other part that come with it. The older you get, you start to lose the older folks around you. So the people who raise you, that's the part that a lot of people ain't prepared for. Or they assume that when they get old, they might get sick and die. But you got to prepare your kids for that. So it's the cycle of life. So it ain't no point in being afraid of it. I think we asked to be here. We ain't just pop up. We just don't have no
Hmm.
memory. It
Hmm.
won't be no fun if we knew everything to come. So that's my
Hmm.
take.
That's solid.
and my take, I can reflect on the same sentiments, Molly. I can mirror that because, like we always say, right now is the present, and for us to be able to enjoy years and years, days and days. I mean, God keep blessing us with each day. Is the present. That's what we got to live in and be excited for each day that we have here with one another. And like you said, I think people fear. Well, I know I think people fear not getting older, but the conditions that come with getting old. Because I hear people say, I don't want to go in a nursing home. I don't want to be wheelchair bound. I don't want to be this. The day that I can't do for myself is the day I want the good Lord to take me home. You hear that a lot. So I don't think it's necessarily they fear getting older. I think they fear the change of their atmosphere as they get older. The change
Yeah.
the look, like you said, people are passing and dying. Like you get into an age where all your friends are gone. You're the only one left. Your husband gone. Your all your friends are gone. All your people peers in your group is gone. And I think people fear that, being that when they say, "Oh, I'm so lonely, I'm alone." You got a big old family, but they mean fearing that person that gets them, that got them, that group, their peers,
Mm.
that they may feel out of place. They
Makes
said
sense.
it's time for everything. Everything has to come to an end. And if we're energy, we come to our end and then we go right back into the cycle. And then, like that movie in
Mhm.
Elon Flux, She was an assassin. It's a great movie. Oh, I like that in Ultraviolet. I like those sci-fi movies. Female assassin. She had to go kill, I think, a version of herself, and it's something like the energy went back. Well, anyway, long story short, she did her job. She killed the person she was supposed to kill. Then she was born again. They saw her after she died. She was born again as a baby with the same little violet eyes and stuff. It was good. Elon Flux. That was the Elon Flux. Yes,
Mhm.
that was the name of the movie. It was a science fiction movie. It was wild, but it was about getting older. And like I
Mhm.
said, some people think they can capture their youthfulness. You see people with plastic surgeon on their
Lack
face
of
looking
independence.
so hard and their neck is wrinkly like an old piece of rubber. You know they look at Smokey Robinson. Everybody knows Smokey done had some work done, but Smokey still come out there with his little two-step and everything. Smokey, we know you 78, bro. We know you up there in age. We know you don't have the same smooth skin, and you can tell it, So people like my auntie said, I don't dye my hair either. I dye my hair blonde, something to jazz it up, but I would never cover up the gray because I think gray is a sign of wisdom. And like Molly said, getting older, growing old gracefully. I agree with everything everybody said. It's just so much with growing old. You could grow old gracefully, like like we all are doing here, or you could go kicking and screaming. Kicking and screaming are those people who you is 70 years old, sir, and still got cornrows going back. No, no, no. When you got this much piece of hair looking like a Shaolin monk, and you got to braid the back of my head. If your hairline start in the middle of your head and you still want a braids going back, something wrong with you.
Uh
You're not growing old gracefully. You
huh.
if you 70 years old and it's some skin tight, walking around in Daisy Dukes or walking around with thongs that show all your cellulite and all that cotton cheese, you're not growing old gracefully, ma'am. You're not. Enjoy your grandkids. Don't try to be a grandkid. Enjoy them. Don't try to be them. Like, hey, what's going on? Looking like crisscross. What's happening?
But if you're a Bahama mama at a certain age, I'm gonna give you your kudos though. Somebody stepping in here, help y'all. Who is this so we can welcome him in? Coming in the house this morning. Oh,
Well,
Uncle E back in the house. He always in the house with us, so it don't matter. But
Want to take
at
charge,
least you're back in here, checking in.
He using his Sean. Not good.
You gotta come and mute your mic if you ain't talking to us right now.
okay. All right.
Hmm.
So we got
But
everybody back on deck. See no evil back.
Yeah, I'm here. My bad.
you all right.
Okay, your turn. You up? What do you think about growing old? Bat, is you scared?
Growing old, um, I personally am not a fan of it because it I have not been a sickly person. You know what I'm saying? I've only been hospitalized for my eyes, so I don't like needles. I don't really know hospital beds like that. I don't want to go through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid of that stuff. If I'm afraid of anything, I don't wanna be getting poked by needles and stuff like that. So um, going through the motions of being hunchback and all that stuff. I don't care about all that stuff. I don't care for all that stuff. So if I can avoid that, I would. Yeah, big boss. Thank you.
So
See you
you
later.
are afraid of growing old.
Yeah, I'm not a. I can't say I'm a fan of it. I mean, I want to live too. I want to live long enough to for my grannies and great grannies and stuff. But I also don't want to be old and you know forget what a stiffy is and stuff. I don't want to get that old.
People gotta keep moving too. People can't set when you settle down and sit down. You park your car in a parking spot or your driveway and let that shit sit for a year and see how it react when you try to start it back up again. It's the same sentiment. I know we use the car analogy a lot, but it seems like it's working for everything since the first time it was used. But you can't settle. You got to keep moving. The people that I see, there's a lady, White House right here. She's 104. I don't know what the hell she eat. I don't think it's even anything special. I think it's her spirit and her aura. But she's 104 years old. I can't walk to my job without passing her house. So to see her banner up every
Hmm.
year keep climbing in the hundreds. Like that's insane. Anyway, but there's a dude named Road Runner around
That's
here. This
good.
Brown Road. Everybody knows him. He used to be athletic, but he walks every single day. He's like 70, I think, about to be 78 this year, and walking
Hmm.
around like he don't have
Hmm.
no pains in his knees, and he don't have no like he's out there active every single day. So it's like you gotta keep that going in order to keep that machine strong.
Hmm.
Uh, I know.
You
I
know,
like
but
the
everybody
what.
don't age the same way. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true though too. Stresses, stuff in life adds stuff to you. What's up, Uncle E? Because you've been cheesing like a Colgate commercial since you came in here. What's up? You got some
No,
sentiments?
I'm just listening to what everybody's saying. That's all. I
Mr.
find,
Bird, what you saying?
What
I
you getting
find
off
you,
of it?
huh?
I
I
said, what you
mean,
getting off of it? You know?
nobody wants to get older and think about ailments and all that shit. But it's beautiful to get old and see another age, another race. I mean, another, like
Generation.
yeah, it's your culture. Like you see the building of your culture. Like you learn so much as a youngin, but when you get older and your perception as to the way you look at things change, and like I mean, life becomes beautiful when you can look past so much that causes
Yeah,
so much chaos. You know what I'm saying? Your most peaceful time is when you're older, even though people work till they 60 something years old and then they retire and hopefully they can live a good number 10 to 15 years before but those be some of the best 10 15 years of their life because they really get a chance to enjoy life for what it is, and that's lay back, enjoy the fresh air, not have to worry about nothing, everything's taken care of. I love
yeah.
being I love being old, and I think I wanted more being older than I was when I was younger. So
I
my
feel you on
stock,
that.
yeah,
Shit,
my stocks stay going up. The older
I
I
ain't mad
get,
at
the more
that.
my
Keep
stocks
them
go
You
numbers
up.
want it?
rolling,
You
Slim.
want it
Keep them
where at
numbers
doctor's
up.
appointment?
I said, what?
You wanted that doctor's appointment?
Did I go to the doctor?
No, you said you more wanted at an older age. I was like, are you more wanted at the doctor's office?
He
No,
thought he
hell
wanted
no,
it.
no. I mean, no. I had a trauma, but I'm in tip top shape. I've taken care of myself my whole life in hopes that I could get to this age.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
And you
see.
still
A lot
young.
of people
You know,
didn't. Very young, very young.
You don't
So
sound old.
yeah.
like
I
if you
know.
take care of ourselves the proper way, then when you get older, you don't have to worry about none of that. You take care of that when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? You learn about your body when you're younger. When you get older, that's when you're supposed to let your body sit back like wine and let it age.
And age.
Let it
The
age.
older the bottle, the better the quality.
Yeah, see, but that they don't. A lot of people don't even understand that metaphor. Wine is retired. Wine is retired to age. They make wine and they retire the wine to age. It sits.
Mhm.
The longer it sits, the better it is. So with time comes everything.
Mhm.
Everything you desire, with time it comes.
see,
Not,
but wine don't stop moving. Wine is fermenting. That's what makes it good. It looks like to the eye that it's just sitting and doing nothing, but it's constantly moving. It's changing. Because the longer it sits, it's fermenting. So it is doing something. You just don't sit back and do nothing now. You got to keep on moving.
I
That's
know
true.
Butterman said that he didn't expect to reach past the age 25. So the fact that you are here and still moving and thriving, you got stuff to, still take care of. So I feel you on that. I know Kyle was saying something about making sure that you live like while you're here and alive, as opposed to, you know, regretting
Exist.
that you didn't. He said, "Don't be afraid of death or getting old. Be afraid of not living while you're alive." Yeah,
Right. I
that's
think
solid.
what he's trying to say, I guess, there's a difference between living and existing, because things can exist but not live.
Yeah.
And we are to live like Molly. I said, Molly said, each day is the present, and that's the gift. That's the gift that keeps giving until it's not. And I'm accept. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You never look a gift horse in the mouth. And each day that you're giving, that's a gift. Who turns down gifts? Whether they're good gifts, bad gifts, hard gifts, but who turned down, You never look a gift horse in the mouth, like they say.
I'll give you that. I definitely give you that.
Anybody know a horse?
Look, something like a horse.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
What up, Matt?
Stop flirting with me. But I do the Ray Charles test with your butt. You be up there. Ooh, you be singing Georgia, Georgia. I got some blackberry cobbler for you. See no evil.
Mm, she trying to force feed me.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I'll take care of you, daddy.
Look at you.
She's trying to force me.
Can I ask a question?
No, why not?
Raise your
do
hand.
you do you think? I mean, it's for the men on the panel. Do you honestly think that you were like females like you more older than they did when you were younger? Do you think more females come your way?
My energy has always been a magnet. So it's never. I know you get more seasoned. I know there's things that women will see in you, and because women can see a confident man. A man ain't got to be about what you're wearing or what you're driving, but your aura and your presence like will speak before you open your mouth. So before anything is established, before they figure out you work for this, you got this business, or you got work for a Fortune 500 company or some shit like that. Your aura, your presence, your demeanor, your stance, how you walk into a room, she'll see that.
It's like she
Yeah,
smells sex in the air.
Man, I like that. I like that.
yeah,
Pretty much, you know. She'll
Why?
see it.
Wise
uh-huh.
comment. Let's comment. Very wise, grasshopper.
Don't worry, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, good
Yeah,
sir.
that's true. Because in school, you just you. You know, a lot of girls just like you for your personality, like who you are. As an adult, they like you for what you have. You know, you got a car, you got an apartment, you got a nice job and stuff. So, for a lot of guys who didn't get girls in school, yeah, a lot more women coming for y'all. It might feel like a flood, a lot of them, because they ain't had no aura in school. They ain't had girls coming at them like that because they ain't have nothing. So yeah, it's a lot different for I think a lot of guys. That's why you see a lot of dudes. They like he was a nerd in school. Yeah, now that nigga a billionaire. You know, so all the girls on me got them super models and all that, but that's mostly because of the things he obtained in his adulthood. It ain't got nothing to do with him. You take the money and stuff away from him, he ain't
What?
nothing. The girls probably wouldn't even want him. And that's why a lot of rich dudes probably get cheated on with some wild dudes, and they be confusing because sometimes it's or a lot of people ain't in it for the money. So for me, it was the opposite. I think it was a lot opposite. But I can understand why a lot of men probably feel like girls coming at them more, depending on how good they doing in life. I guess that's my
Ain't that
take.
what Screech said? That Screech said that on Saved by the Bell. You better treat us nerds better because we gonna be the ones to run the rail in the future.
Mm-hmm. You one line.
That part.
Wow.
They don't need to know your financial status right off the bat. Personally, they'll see it. Like I said, it don't matter what clothes you wear or what you drive. You see somebody who has shit together. You see somebody with a little turmoil on them. You can see
You
somebody with a
should
dark
tell you
cloud, or if
broken
you can
homeless
feel it. Tell her you broken homeless. See what
and
she
see if
says.
she
If she
straight.
stays. Now,
I need that. I need
broken homeless. All right. I mean, you can meet
I
people
need a
where
little
they
help,
at,
Yeah,
but
y'all.
broken homeless, like that's a lot to pick up
I
from.
wasn't
Like,
even that in school. I had
but you might
somewhere to
have a
go.
formula though. Like, you might have a formula that actually like if
Yeah,
a plan, a solid plan, a formula for how you're going to get out of your situation. That's is what I feel like will save and put woman on that queen or princess status when he does get his head right. You got to know he's about it because catching somebody in a hard time, you might miss that millionaire. That'll love your ass and take care of the rest of your life. Everything that you set your eyes on or want to do or accomplish, he's gonna have the funds and ability to be able to back that. So I think that I don't believe in missing somebody. I ain't gonna be like, oh, yeah, you get a new outfit. We can go on a date if you want. Nah, if you got shit going on, I can't necessarily, but I don't think you should miss, somebody specific because of whatever they fell into. I think it depends on the situation, you know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Good take.
When you guys are ready, we do have that first video loaded up, Ree. Since it seems like the sentiments are pretty much done for that, we can go ahead and cue that up if that's okay with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Shout out my boy Unc shared this video with us. Let's get
Oh,
out
good.
taking the
So you
car.
really out here believe that Martin Luther King was a hero? You've been lied to, and he wasn't no black activist either. And if I'm lying, why did he tell Harry Belafonte that he felt like he integrated his people into a burning house? Picture this. What real leader is going to tell you to get in bed with the damn bully, with the rapist, with the murderer, with the thief? Well, Martin Luther King did exactly that. You got to do your research. Black civil rights leaders actually hijacked the March on Washington. The United States government knew about the march. Black people was coming to fight for fair pay, for fair jobs. Black people was planning on shutting down DC. That whole operation was organized and they paid them leaders to do it. The civil rights movement failed. You brought 1 million black people together on foot to march on the nation's capital. And what do we have to show for it? Because when you got up there about this dream about black boys and black girls finally being able to hold hands with white boys and white girls in peace and in harmony, you just gave a free pass to open wounds with a nation who did not share the same dream as you. Why do you think you always say support black business? Because this pastor literally led the sheep to the slaughter, took everything we had, black ownership, black opportunity, black wealth, and fed it to the wolves. Since integration, no new HBCUs. Since integration, no black hospitals. Since integration, no more black banks. Since integration, no more black schools. We talking about things that we had before we integrated with white America. Ownership. This is a country that has a Mount Rushmore of racist slave owner presidents, statues of white men and white women who knowingly committed crimes against black people. And you think that they're going to hang up Martin Luther King as your beacon of hope for Negroes? Negro, please. Martin Luther King only has a holiday to himself because he helped destroy black people. And America thanks him for that. So you really out here believe that Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's a real solid ass video. I like shit like
That's
that.
deep.
Hell yeah. I like
Yeah,
shit
we
like
start
that.
with you, Unc. It's your
Yep.
video, man. Why you want to share this with the people today or get enlighten us on it?
because this just shows the atrocity of our what we call our nation against us. Like we've been following the Pied Pipers for many years, and we still follow them, except for the Pied Piper that became, your yesterday's Martin Luther King has become your today's rock, today's David Chappelle, like all these, everybody's playing their, they're playing the position that they've been put in. You know what I'm saying? Everything is still misleading. Every now and then they allow some of the information to get out, but it's only to satisfy the woke crowd, so to speak. Give us a little bit of information, let us jump on that, you know what I'm saying? And I said the the story is still the same. The story is still the same. We don't have nobody. We don't have no predominantly black man or black female that's trying to lead this black nation going forward. We don't have one. We ain't had one in God knows how long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, Jasmine Crockett
Okay.
pretty close.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Unc.
Why are we looking for a man to lead us or someone human to lead us instead of looking toward God to lead us? Because
Probably.
man is not perfect. Man is going to make mistakes. But when you listen to God, he'll never lead you wrong. And all you have to do is look within your own heart and your own soul to find him. I don't look for no man to lead me, black, white, or indifferent.
I think that people of that time still kept the faith, but at the same time, when you can hose down water hoses and beat to death, I don't think. I think that thought leaves people's minds. Like you have faith, you're still gonna pray, you're still gonna believe, but at the end of the day, like I said, when you getting dogs, when you looking at this dog bite on your leg, you might be praying about it, but you're gonna be looking for somebody that got some type of influence to do something. So
And And what do you think led that? It was the Spirit of God that led them people to do that. Okay, people
Oh,
want to
okay.
blame Martin Luther King for what he did. They go, because I've heard people say that he used the young for use the young body to, for that abuse or whatever, right? No, the young stood up and accepted that abuse because they had the young bodies to go through that. Okay, Martin Luther King had the knowledge, okay, and the power to talk to our oppressors. Okay, what Martin Luther King was trying to get through to the people was, and that was through all people, you had to change your heart. Okay, people took that message wrong. I don't give a darn what he did in his private life. He was not, no, he was a man, and man makes mistakes. And what he was doing had nothing to do with his private life. Period. He was marching for equality for all people, mainly us. Okay, our human rights were taken from us, and he was marching for that. And that should have been the main focus. But people took the focus off of that.
Well, the first question I will ask you: are you aware of what the boule is? You can say you don't care, but I just want to know if you're aware of what it is.
No, I don't care.
Oh, I know, but that wasn't the question. And I know I already
What did you
answered for
say?
you because I knew you were going to say no, you didn't care. But I was going to ask if you were educated on what the boule was.
The what? The
Yeah,
bully.
Now just
yeah.
tell her
Thank
what
What
you,
is the
it
thank
bully?
you. That's what the boule is. That's enough within itself. I'll pull up some information so I can send it to you directly on stuff you can start looking into about the boule, because you can't allow somebody, you can't celebrate praise and not know that person's workings, where they're from, what organizations they're a part of, the overall picture. You know, if we have people put in our face now to be symbols of this and all of that, uh, y'all didn't think that was always a thing. It didn't just come out of nowhere. People having faces for this. Look, even the whole Rosa Parks thing. She wasn't the original of this story. She was not the beginning of this.
Exactly,
So when
exactly, exactly.
right,
But
so
it was a time, but when it happened to Rosa Parks, that was a time for them to get involved because she was a so-called important person into
uh,
the AACP or whatever and stuff. Because she was an important person, that
I thought you was gonna
took
say because she was an agent, but you know,
no, because
I'll
she was
send you
part
some
of the
things to look into.
AACP. Okay, because people didn't care until they got involved.
Well,
True or false? They didn't care until they got involved. Others people have
Well,
to get involved, just like some white preachers and priests and stuff like that got involved.
see you
But
later,
when they
Kyle.
got involved, guess what happened? They got killed.
I mean, well,
See, so you got to use
this is
other
mostly y'all era,
organizations.
so
Say what?
we can only speak on it. This is y'all era and what y'all assimilated to and fell into and allowed and whatever. So all the key words that you're using are nice words to use, but those are words that apply to the older generations. So we can only speak on what y'all did. We can, I guess, clean it up, but I don't know how much anybody before us really did if we're still in this type of situation today's time. So I don't know who
I,
we're putting it
If
on. I
it
don't know what we're
wasn't,
supposed to
if
be.
it wasn't for what
I want to know what the
our
NAACP
ancestors
did.
did
What
then,
what did they do?
black people wouldn't have had the
Hold
obligation.
on,
There
Uncle.
wouldn't be as many rich black people. A hood rapper could not become rich
I
back
mean,
in those
that's
days.
impossible when
I'm
and
talking
Uncle, you
about
can
back in
ask your
those days. If
question
if
too,
if if
if
they
that's
if black
impossible.
people wouldn't have stood for their rights then, you wouldn't have no rights to do that now.
Yeah, but at the same era where we were supposed to be quote unquote slaves, we had black slave owners, like something that you acknowledged on one of our previous shows that were
Yes,
rich as hell. So you can't tell me
yes.
that we were rich as hell in one point in time, and because of whoever the man or whoever, then in later
Mm-hmm,
times we're not
mm-hmm.
rich because somebody's holding something back. When people obviously were, you know, it was black mistresses that was on plantations and all that type of stuff that was saved by their masters, and all of a sudden you can not get your, you
Okay,
know,
let me ask you
nah.
something. Just because you were a black slave owner back in those days and you were rich back in those days, do you think they were still treated as equal as the white rich?
Yes,
I
they
don't care if you
was.
were treated as equal as the white race. It's the fact that you are in a position to have the same, to even have that type of status to own slaves as well, and then to have that type of money. So there's something to be investigated in that in everything that we think we know when half the people didn't even realize they were black slaves. I'm not saying you weren't educated on that because you're the one that told us about it. But at the same time, we can't take bits and pieces of something that existed and then say it can no longer exist because of whatever. Now I know Uncle E had a question for you to direct it to someone else because I don't want us to take over the microphone.
Because
Uncle
I
E
want to say
asked.
something. I've been waiting to say something.
Oh, I didn't even hear you honestly or see you even say
Mhm.
anything. So
Yes,
you're welcome
sir.
to go ahead.
This is what I wanted to say, and I hope y'all understand what I'm about to say.
Mhm.
Walk with me, talk to me. When Martin Luther King, what his vision was, because he was misled, he was led astray. He admitted that at the end of his life that he was wrong. Let me finish y'all before y'all anybody say anything. Now, separate but equal. That's what we wanted. But this is how we got food into integration. We wanted separate but equal. We wanted a water fountain just as good as the white water fountain. We wanted books just as good as the white books. We wanted stuff the same as just as good as the white folks in our neighborhood, in our kitchens, in our living rooms. We wanted to live the same, separate but equal. We didn't care about being separate, but we wanted equal stuff. We didn't want the scraps anymore. We want, if you ate ham, don't give me the skin. If you don't give me the chitlins, give me the ham. We want it separate but equal. We wanted that equalness, right? And Martin Luther King was misled because he thought that the way that we could get equal treatment if we lost our self identity into them. That's where the integration was came from. We had to go their path. We had to try to walk their mile, walk in their shoes, do what they did. That wasn't separate but equal. That was us melting into them. Why couldn't we keep our own and just be just as powerful as them? Because they didn't want that. We had that in Black Wall Street. We had that. Black people is the most powerful agents of here because we do the most spending, and it's the poor people that spend the most. Okay, rich people get stuff given to them all the time, all kinds of breaks, all kinds of gifts, all kinds of stuff. It's the black people. Not let me take that back. Let me take the black back. It's the struggling people. It's the poor people, the lower class people that's considered lower class. Why are we considered lower class? Because the rich think they're up here, and at the time they would never have us as equal. No, they would never be. We would never be the same. You could be a rich plantation owner, but you ain't gonna have big house like Mr. Johnny had. You have a rich plantation owner in a house high on the stacks for people of color. You high on the color chart, but we ain't gonna never be equal. And Martin Luther King realized that at the end. It said that he was led astray because he led all of his people into the slaughter, into that what I mean the slaughter, into that integration thing, into that melting into their society instead of them melting into us. We gave up our identity. We gave up our hair, our looks, our identity, our color, bleaching our skin to try to fit into their box. Instead of us being separate but equal. That's all.
Butterman said, "Thank you for that. Those sentiments too, Ree." Butterman was saying, "Rose, oh, hold on, we got somebody sliding through here. Shit, come on in the house. You on time?" Hey, Rodney,
What's
not the
good,
beast,
y'all?
but Rodney.
Hey,
What's up, Slim? Join
Rodney.
in on the conversation. Butterman said Rosa Parks was a part of the movement. Hold on, let me see. Yep, Rosa Parks was a part of the movement. The bus incident was planned protest for quality. Or I guess maybe he meant to say equality. In my opinion, he said MOK for life. Hashtag, in my
Mhm.
opinion, hashtag MOK for life. Mm. AQ said, "What's up, AQ?" AQ said, "Let's not be fooled." Um, she said, us buying us wasn't the same as slavery and torture that was inflicted as white hyenas punishments done to us. However, it backfired on us due to the Hutus and the Tutsis turning against each other. Believe in the colorism movement due to the self mentality enslavement of our minds. Yeah, it's called Blue Vein Society, being one of the main organizations that was centered around separating black people from other black people because of trying to be better of status and all of that type of stuff too. But the Boule and Blue Vein Society is two things I recommend people look up.
Trey,
But
let me ask you a question. Do you know where that separation thing came from?
Hmm.
yeah, Willie Lynch theory.
And when he separated us, and it was the how to keep your slave in line,
But the
and he
formula
did
was
a job.
followed. The formula was stayed up with. That's what
Hmm
people forget, that that study of the mind. They had time where you was out in them fields and they can do this to you, see how you respond and understand buck breaking and diminishing the power of the man in the eyes of the people around him and all that. It
hmm
was a study. All of that was science to them. All of that was study, drilling holes in their head, trying to, relieve certain things or try to figure out what their brain looked like compared to ours. All that type of stuff was different things that went around that. But the Willie Lynch theory is still being followed in today's time, which is why it still has full effect, which is why we talking about it now. Really.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. But he said
Mhm.
something about them hijacking the march, though. I think nobody
Yeah,
really spoke on that
chimed in on
part.
that part.
So it sounded like the movement was different than what they made it out to be. It sounded like he was saying that they was down there to fight for equality and all these other things, and they got Martin Luther King and them to go down there to quiet them down and to change their mission to something else totally different. They was ready to fight. They got tired of it. They had whites and blacks all down there, and it was a lot of them. So that's what he was saying in that video. And it was always weird that he changed his name because his name is not Martin Luther King, it's Michael.
Nah,
And it makes sense now because the real Martin Luther King fought against the church. So it now when you look up Martin Luther King, you don't get history on the true Martin Luther King. You get history on this Martin Luther King Jr., the one that they tell us about, who real name is Michael. But it's weird that once he came out and apologized and said he was wrong, people still argue he wasn't wrong. He said he was wrong. So I don't care what anybody else feel about Wade. He came out his mouth and said he was wrong. He was tricked. He messed up,
It's
and I
okay.
accept his apology for that. We all
Yep.
human. You can make mistakes, but he stood on it and he started to let us know what was going on, what they was doing with the money, how they was bringing people from other land marks to America and giving them free stuff. And that's when they say, "Uh-oh,
hmm
and they killed them."
Yep.
So just like it makes sense. They used him till they couldn't use him no more. And when he opened his eyes up, it's just like we got to remember his last message. A lot of people caught up in them first early messages when he
Hmm.
let us know he was programmed to say those things. And it always weird to me that people assume we was broke. No, most everything was black owned. We had our own. The whole thing was we had our own bus lines and everything. And the dude Clyde Davis and them was fighting against this. They didn't like what Martin was trying to do. They like we got our own. Let's just make our things better. We can
hmm
still have white people come into our establishment and buy from us, but if they don't want to have us in theirs, cool. We not gonna be racist. We cool with Martin saying we can have that over here, but it's up to them that allowed us in theirs. But Martin wanted us to all just merge together, and it didn't work out for us because we lost all our black businesses, and people assumed that we wasn't rich. And I put up a graphic for people to
yeah.
see a few
I ain't want to
people
cut
who
nobody off when
was
you pulled it
rich
up, but
in
yeah, I
those
was reading it.
times because it's people in those times that was rich. And y'all know a lot of these people that was rich. This stuff was taught to us in school. So like, why we just assume black people just ain't have it, at all. So there's just a few people that had money at this time when Martin Luther King them was out there, and
See,
this
I
was in the
see.
1950s. This guy
Samuel
who's
B.
Samuel
Fuller,
Fuller.
John Hodson, John H. Johnson, Samuel B. Fuller, A.G. Gatson, different entertainers like Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., Cab Calloway, the Negro Land Elite. I never heard of the Negro Land Elite. I'm about to look that up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Um, what was the
it's
first one?
so
Because it said something about $18 million or
Yeah, he
something on the
started with
first one. Yeah.
$25 loan, Samuel Fuller, and
Let me
he ended up
read
doing
the
it.
Samuel B. Fuller joint for the panel real quick. It says Samuel B. Fuller, widely considered the richest black man in the U.S. in the 1950s, starting with the $25 loan. He built Fuller Products, a cosmetics and household goods company with $18 million in sales by the 1950s. So y'all remember $18 million? We know what $18 million is right now. $18 million in the 1950s.
Oh, yeah,
So
some money.
but
Yeah,
employing 5,000 people, like to be a part of his organization, but the money existed is what I don't think people realize. AQ says if you want to be real, it's not about being equal. It's about understanding how we're not a lot more enriched. See, we can also have economically viable finance resources, but you have to get out of the stereotypical way to purchase property and invest in all of that. Yeah, the lack of knowledge being passed around. I mean, like I said, the Willie Lynch theory is still in full effect. So, the dismantling of the black mind, the black families, the power dynamic and stuff, and even having uh, parents fighting over, the dynamic of one to split houses, all this stuff that played out after is how this is still in effect. So, uh, information was passed around. We always seen black success from the beginning and the hardest time, but at the same time, the capacity for most the traumas and the backlash of history in general just was a trickling effect for most family bloodlines on the soil. It might be more diluted now because we're seeing less of what they seen in that time, but you know, in my opinion, yeah, we a lot of people didn't have the capacity or the knowledge to or the time to pass it around. Somebody new is stepping in the house. We got a guest coming in. Hey, funny man Green, whatever like that and all.
What's
Oh,
up?
not
Man,
the pill
popping
bottle. What's the
pills. You
pill
alright?
for? Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Man,
yeah.
talking
Damn.
about getting old today, man. That's
Yeah,
what
he popping the
he even
bottle.
said. He said he don't want to go through this.
hmm Shit, how you feel about getting older? That's one thing we was hitting on too. We can segue into you what we talking about now. But one of the initial questions was, how do you feel about getting older? That was a question that came from Blue Phoenix for the panel. But she was asking, do you fear aging and pretty much in death, or if not,
What they say with age comes wisdom, but also comes aches, pains, wrinkles. uh, you know what I mean? You notice different parts of your body aches that you know what I mean? You be like, damn, I didn't know my toe hair was hurt. I mean, like,
Come on.
but I don't know. I welcome getting older or whatever. I don't know. Some actually in some cultures or whatever like that. Like, okay, good example. Prince. Uh, um, they don't celebrate birthdays or whatever like that. No, because they feel that if they
Wait a minute, David. Did you say culture?
huh?
You said some cultures.
Yeah.
Prince.
They don't celebrate birthdays or whatever. He said in an interview or whatever like that. No.
That was religion. He was a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
That's religion.
Yeah. Well, because he said that when you put time on age and everything like that, no, that's what makes you look older, makes you seem older or whatever like that.
Mhm. So you talk yourself into all the effects of aging, pretty much, is when you say you
Right.
keep that mindset of keeping
Right.
the numbers and okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I mean, you gotta realize, you know what I mean, when you're talking like way back in way back in the day and everything, you know what I mean, before a lot of technology and everything today, people was living to be 800 900 years old or whatever, you know what I mean.
I'm gonna read a AI overview from what you was actually talking about because I know everybody that's watching can't necessarily zoom in like I can. So it says several cultures and societies, particularly in East Asia, Latin America, and certain indigenous communities, hold perspectives that de-emphasize in the negative aspects of aging, often viewing it as a gain of wisdom and social value rather than a decline. These cultures often foster multi-generational living and deep respect for elders, mitigating the fear and stigma associated with aging. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Okay.
praise their elderly. The elderly is a gift. Elderly always been
Yeah.
the chief. The elders, they always say, go look to talk to the elders. That's because they got a lot of wisdom because they did a lot of living. God gave them a lot of gifts. Each day is a gift. You know, and our very own Molly Moe talked about the time being a construct of, you know, illusion and all of that stuff right here. You know, before I heard Prince say it on the interview a while ago, but our own Molly Moore says the same thing, that time is an illusion. If you ever listen to
Now,
her talk, but but definitely wisdom, age, elderly is always the wise, the olds.
can
Right.
I bring the same question to you, Rodney? Kind of seg you in because I see you pick up a phone call or something like that. Do you have a fear of all at all of aging, the aging process, anything about it? The question from Phoenix was, I know you missed it, but the question from Phoenix was in relation to like passing, like death, aging, making your way there, whatever your mind takes you through on the way as you know climbing up in age. Do you have any like fears or anything behind that?
You said why they're getting old, basically.
At one point in time, I did. When my mom got old and passed away, she gave me a new perspective. So you know, and now I'm just excited to see everything that is coming about. Like I want to see my kids get married. I want to see grandkids. I want to be able to experience those things. It was a point in time where you know I was when I was 16, I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna make it past 21. So you know, it definitely once I got past 21, I even said I remember my 21st birthday where it was nothing but extra stuff from this point on because you know statistically back then you didn't know if you were going to make it back through that. But when my mom was passing away, when my mom got sick, I told her that you know I wanted to get a tattoo if she passed away of an angel crying over a grave. And my mom looked at me and said, "Why would the angel be crying?" And I was like, "You know, because you know, it's sad that your angel on earth and it's gone." And she was like, "Nah, they'll be celebrating. I finally get to go where I've been wanting to go this whole time. So why am I going to be upset? I already knew I was dying. I already knew." She didn't say all this, but that's the thing I got
Your
from her was,
sentiment, yeah.
you know, I already knew I was going to die. So you know, and I did what you know what God wanted me to do while I was here. So I'm good. Like I'm okay. You know, if I go, I won't be. She said, if I go, I don't want nobody crying for me. Not angels, not you, not anywhere, because I'm going where I wanted to go and where I set out to go for a long time. So that was my sentiment. And after she said that, it really changed my perspective. I want to have that perspective where you know I'm okay. I already everybody know they dying. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's a secret.
Yeah.
Everybody know you getting older. It's just about. I believe that it is a big relief when you figure out why you're here and you accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? I feel that once that happens, that you get. Now I don't feel that I've done it yet, but you know, I'm hoping that one day that I do get to that point where I figure out why I'm here, I accomplish it, and then after that, everything is gravy. You know what I'm saying? Everything after that is just a bonus.
So you don't fear getting older. So
no, I don't.
You have no fear. Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Like I said, after 21, I was just surprised I was still alive.
You sound like Butterman. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. To segue y'all into what we talking about. I know we switching subjects, but I just kind of wanted y'all to hit on what y'all what we were talking about right before y'all came in versus now. So I don't know if y'all seen in the videos. Seen the video just mentioning and discussing MLK and his timeline, his journey in terms of the movements he tried to make in the directions he tried to push people in a positive light for him to also. One of the sentiments that was shared was him acknowledging the fact that he felt like he was led astray with what he tried to do with his people. I don't know if you guys caught the video that we had up, but any sentiments on MLK period in his journey, and just the movement in that era and what he did.
I'll go first. It's funny, man. Don't.
Yeah, you're welcome to it. I just wanted to get y'all back.
For me, I'm actually in the movement right now where I'm trying to really get rid of what I've been told. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of and do my own research. I'll be honest with you, Martin Luther King has not been something, but yeah, I have already seen things that go against what I was told. You know what I'm saying? Like what you know, the fact that they keep on just showing, you know, I have a dream speech and put that into our heads. Well, what else was there? You know what I'm saying? What else was there that was his part? So, you know, I'm glad to see the other aspects, but you know, I've been really working on trying to get rid of the program that the school taught me, or you know, whatever it is that they putting out there as the narrative. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's enough information out here to get the information. So go get it. I'll tell anybody. I don't really have an opinion on this because I don't feel that I'm researched enough. But I would say that to anyone, no matter what it is, like question everything that you were told. Because at this point, if you still believe what the government or your school or the mass media is telling you, then you know, then in my opinion, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
I feel you on that. I mean, if y'all, I understand not having too many sentiments and not having too much research because I don't like speaking on things I haven't like looked that far into. But the video is up. I guess Molly can unmute it to just let y'all hear some of the audio from the video that we did play, and maybe I can have some sentiments or just get caught up to speed on what we were watching today.
And I got a question when we get back.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with.
We're gonna play this video real quick, and then we can start with you, David, when you come back.
Okay.
Because this is catching you up to what we already watched before y'all came in.
You really out here believe that Martin Luther King was a hero? You've been lied to, and he wasn't no black activist either. And if I'm lying, why did he tell Harry Belafonte that he felt like he integrated his people into a burning house? Picture this. What real leader is going to tell you to get in bed with the damn bully, with the rapist, with the murderer, with the thief? Well, Martin Luther King did exactly that. You got to do your research. Black civil rights leaders actually hijacked the March on Washington. The United States government knew about the march. Black people was coming to fight for fair pay, for fair jobs. Black people was planning on shutting down DC. That whole operation was organized, and they paid them leaders to do it. The civil rights movement failed. You brought 1 million black people together on foot to march on the nation's capital. And what do we have to show for it? Because when you got up there about this dream about black boys and black girls finally being able to hold hands with white boys and white girls in peace and in harmony, you just gave a free pass to open wounds with a nation who did not share the same dream as you. Why do you think you always say support black business? Because this pastor literally led the sheep to the slaughter, took everything we had, black ownership, black opportunity, black wealth, and fed it to the wolves. Since integration, no new HBCUs. Since integration, no black hospitals. Since integration, no more black banks. Since integration, no more black schools. We talking about things that we had before we integrated with white America. Ownership. This is a country that has a Mount Rushmore of racist slave owner presidents, statues of white men and white women who knowingly committed crimes against black people. And you think that they're going to hang up Martin Luther King as your beacon of hope for Negroes? Negro, please. Martin Luther King only has a holiday to himself because he helped destroy black people. And America thanks him for that.
Now, Ree, if you can hold your question real quick, since David and Rodney coming in, I'll get you right after David. And Rodney, if you have any other sentiments, I'll let you hit on that too. But David, I want to make sure that you don't, you remember whatever it is that you wanted to say or whatever sentiments you had. But I just wanted to refresh you guys on what we actually seen today.
Oh, okay. Well, pretty much, you know, I mean, what Ronnie said, you know, I mean, when I was younger, I was brainwashed and everything, you know, I mean, to, you know, I mean, to sit there and be like, oh yeah, wasn't for Martin Luther King this and wasn't Martin Luther King that, whatever. But during owns research and everything and all, you know what I mean, come to find out, just like the video said or whatever, that, you know what I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't he a spy or something for the government or whatever?
Yeah, I was recommended for people to look into the Boule. Number one, you can look more into CIA agents as well because that'll help with a lot of the things. A lot of people that have been
Right.
presented to us. But yeah, yeah,
Right.
they are part of the system.
It was you know what I mean, because a lot of people they would always bring up Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, just like they was always compared to just like Biggie and Tupac. You know what I mean? It was you either on the Martin Luther King bandwagon or the Malcolm X bandwagon or whatever like that. No, when Martin Luther King out his own mouth said that he was wrong. You know what I mean?
We said that earlier. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He said that out his own mouth. So you know what I mean? Somebody who admits the wrong, like I said, out their own mouth. Of course, I'm going to believe that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And they're talking.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
But what I do give you know, because they was talking about the segregation and different things like that and everything and all. And it's crazy because I was just thinking about this, you know what I mean? One time when I was walking down the street, and there was a time where we wasn't even allowed to look at a white person. You know what I mean? To you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Emmett Till and all got in trouble with, you know what I mean, allegedly whistling at a white chick to now all these mixed kids. You know what I mean? So
right. Yep. I'm kind of off the screen right now, but Ree, if you wanted to ask whatever you was going to ask, you're welcome to do so.
Yes, I want Felicia. Felicia, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
My question is, and you can help me with this because you're the only one on the screen that lived through it, right? When they assassinated him. I remember y'all was telling me y'all was a little girl and how scary that was. Why I wanted to know, why did people of color destroy their own neighborhood instead of going to where the injustice or whatever is destroyed their neighborhood? Like when those people did that insurrection on the Capitol, they came to the Capitol and did it. They didn't go to their trailer parks home or wherever else they were from doing that stuff. They came to the Capitol and destroyed, or you know, the Capitol building. Trying to get in there. So my question is, if you know why back then, since she was a
well, why do they still do that now today? But I can't speak for what went on in every neighborhood. All I can do is speak for what went on in my neighborhood at the time. And in my neighborhood at the time, we didn't destroy our neighborhood. They were going around, they told every black person to mark their property with Soul Brother. And anybody who didn't have that marking, they destroyed. That's what they did in our neighborhood.
But when that happened, I understand that we also had a loss in the family and we was going out of town anyway. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, because we lost.
They didn't bother granddaddy stuff though.
No, they didn't bother his, but I guess because they in the neighborhood, they knew who he was. So that's why he didn't have to mark his. He wasn't afraid of not marking his because he said, I wish they would touch mine. He didn't mark his, you know, I guess because they knew who he was. But yeah, we lost our uncle the same day of Martin Luther King. So we had to travel down North Carolina for his funeral. And every road, when you entered Virginia, it was blocked. It was a roadblock. When you entered North Carolina, they was checking, why are you here? Why are you coming here? You know, you had to explain yourself. Why are you here? You know, it was a rough travel.
Wow.
It was a rough travel, and as a kid, you can imagine. And as you traveling the road, you could see fires, you could see burnings. It was just so much. Yeah, it was so much.
And I asked Felicia to speak on that to give you guys a perspective of what went on and what, because I know we always say
I love that we
nobody's
have
here to
it.
tell us about that. But I'm blessed that she got, baby, I got a 96-year-old auntie that I be asking her all kinds of questions when I see her. And hopefully when we go down there in May, I can introduce you to her.
I love that you're here, Auntie, personally, because that's what I need. I can't tell nobody what I think. I can only really ask the people that's been around to see it. We can, nothing's a
Yeah.
speculation until you actually have a source directly, to whatever it is you're discussing. So I'm glad that you are, you've been on this panel like this to even give takes from a different perspective, from a different era and stuff as well. So I'm with that. Because I'm not going to learn anything if I don't have anybody around to show me, or someone I can ask questions to and see what they experience. So
Yeah,
it works.
I get it. Yeah.
And we still do that now, like they did in. I thought that, but to me, I think they use that. Some people use it as a reason to loot, as a reason to get like a free grab.
Of
No, I
course.
mean,
That's true. Yes. And
That's that nigga shit. That ain't even
believe it or not, your own government, your own police force send people in there to loot and do all those
Yeah.
things so that
Even if it's not happening,
your
they send
purpose
somebody here.
can fail. So yeah, they have been doing that for years.
so we talked about
Nothing
that
has
on the other
changed.
show, the Antifa,
Just different people playing the game. That's all.
That
the
part.
crisis workers and agents and everybody to mislead people. And sometimes when we get brainwashed, it takes a minute for us to get unbrainwashed. So, and it's just grace. Like I give Martin Luther King all the grace and mercy in the world because he's human just like we are. And I feel bad because he was misled too. That, like he said, lead his people into a burning building of integration. A burning building. That's I look at that like, come on, Ann, come on, y'all, the morning man, come on, let's go in this building. The building on fire, and you're going to meet your demise. But I'm leading y'all into there. Come on, everybody, come on. No, I'm glad he realized it. But like Molly said, when he realized it and woke up, that's when they said they had to tell him good night. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And then I think they killed Malcolm X to make a point. I guess they said, dang, we can't kill this one without killing this one.
Yeah, I feel like all the support can't go to the next person in line because that's just going to double up on their backing. It's this whole timeline when I
Malcolm
look
would
at
have told us
American
to
history is
fight.
sad to me.
Malcolm would have been like, come on, y'all,
Yeah,
let's
ain't
burn
no
their house down.
praying
Not
around the
ours.
table and all that. Nah, was about that action. I'm not gonna lean on either side because I wasn't somebody standing on the podium talking to nobody on the magnitude that they was anyway. So I'm always giving them their respect because whatever it was and whatever it is that I don't understand, y'all was on. Y'all did things monumental regardless of what anybody thinks about that. So I still give respect on both sides. What's up, Ree? I see your hand.
This is the question I want to ask y'all
Sure.
today. Everybody on the panel, all the youth and everything.
Yeah.
We fought hard just to get the Act of 1964 and 65 invoked. And this is under the Biden law, under the Democrats. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it. They got rid of it. They got rid of it at the same time they gave us Juneteenth. So the stuff that we died and fought for, ran into the burning building for, was so that we can get some of that equal stuff. So we can get higher. So we can get loans. So we didn't have to get red zone.
Red line.
Red line. Thank you. Red line. And they gave it back. And why? Because they thought the Democrats were saying something good. They took it back. They took them acts back under Biden and Kamala. She's supposed to be black. She should have told Biden, hell no, we can't take that back because that gave us a little foot in y'all daggone mountain. But
Yeah, she's part of the system, So.
Yeah, but they let it go back. And when I saw that, I was at the radio station. I said, they're making a mistake. So they give you Juneteenth in the right hand. Here, take this little holiday. And they took your rights. They gave you a holiday and took some of our rights. That's not no equal trade. That's not no equal trade. And then now the Juneteenth, I heard they're getting ready to stroke that on out too. So what are we get as colored people? We got a lot of ancestors, a lot of property time and stuff lost and killed because the way we move. Because you're back now to ground zero. Because no company have to hire you, no company have to integrate you, no company have to do nothing. They can have the promised land. And that's good because now that they hopefully give Black people a chance to come back and regroup and rely on them to realize that we all we
I
need.
just wish I wish we dropped them as a standard. I wish I understand why they're the standard. Even in today's time, if a black woman wear blonde hair or something, uh, it's the standard. Things that people say show me that they still overall generally feel like white people are the standard. By saying, "Oh, you trying to be white," uh, okay.
Black
You want to
people have
educate
blonde
yourself
hair
on,
and blue eyes.
yeah, if you want
Our
to,
genetics.
yeah, I was gonna say educate yourself on a wide range of colors. I was saying this morning to Molly, we crossed the whole scale when it comes to hues of colors, from the
We got a
whitest of the white to
code.
the darkest of the dark.
It's
With blue
crazy.
eyes, we got people up the street, homies, regular, average Joe blows, going to work with blue eyes and stuff as well, walking around like so. It's funny that white people are still made the standard. Ain't nobody going to no store. Hey, can I get some white people here? No, you getting people. If you're getting hair, I mean, I'm not a person of buying hair from people, but if you're doing that, it's coming from people of color. Like it's weird to me how people say certain things and still show me today that like they still consider white to be the standard. I just wish in that time
Mm,
I understand the feeling, wanting to feel equal, but if you want to feel equal, that's giving power to someone because you're saying to yourself that they're on a stature that you need to get up to, and I don't just don't
right.
understand how the same people that beat me over my head, hose me down, have ancestors there as slaves and buck breaking and breeding farms and all that type of stuff. And I'm looking to the same people to give me what was always denied. So it's just I get why people would fight for it, but I just wish that there was something in play that made people see it a little different. Because the finances, the money was always there. Molly pulled up the screen that showed who was making what and what kind of numbers were hitting outside of being a celebrity. You didn't have to be a Sammy Davis Jr. or nothing like that. It was plenty of
Hmm.
business going on and ownership of people like blacks that owned slaves and all that type of stuff. It was a whole bunch of stuff. It seems like we're still not privy to, but it's just weird that that's still the standard. Like even if
Okay.
it's subconscious that people don't want to say it, certain things that they verbalize make me understand that people still see white people as the standard or the thing to be.
It's going
So
to take a long time to wash that dirt out. We got four. Look,
Dirt
that them
out.
chains is around it, around our brain. So we're going to take a long time for people to wake up, and they waking up one person at a time.
Man, they use religion anyway. If it wasn't religion back then, them people would have been kirked out on the treatment they was being treated.
mhm.
It's just Martin Luther King was good at what he do. No different than T.D. Jakes and the rest of these pastors. They get a big following and people believe in what they say. And if he say calm down, no, don't fight back, what turn the other cheek, they gonna follow.
Yeah,
So I just like they always been using religion, and it's always going to work
Yep.
because religion is full of good people, people don't want to harm people. So you can get more people on that side. They not going to fight back, even if they getting hit and whipped. And then the scripture in there that support the things that they did. So people not going to be too much angry about going through slavery if God said this what He punishing us for. So I get why some of them people didn't fight back because they was like, nah, we're gonna try it the right way, because in their head this is the right way. Martin Luther King said this, God will want us to fight. And that might work for some people. Some people feel like they did when Malcolm X had a different outlook on it. He was like, nah, and in our book, which is the same book, just a different outlet, he was pointing out the scriptures that God said you can fight back, which was in there. It's just that they both was right in just that which side you want to follow. It's just like once they started talking and becoming together, that's when it really become a
they said, "Oh
problem.
no, we can't have
They should have
that.
spoke. Yeah, I
Can't
wish
have
they
that."
was together and they can talk and how they can get our people to come together that know that we got one common goal in place instead of saying we got to do it this way. We got to do it this way. Now, let's find a way
Right.
that we can all work together. Then when we get where we need to be, we'll figure it out. But I think religion played a big part in that.
Mhm.
You take that out, people fighting back.
One of the first
Yep.
questions was, well, why did people put their energy into God and everything? And like I was saying, and that's a good question from Auntie Felicia, but that's what I was saying too, is they had faith because they were still going to church, still praying in the midst of all that. Even as slaves, they were still having a little, you know, so their little rejoicing and stuff. But that's why I feel like,
But you got to do
it
more
wasn't.
than just pray. You got to be willing to take action as well. And that's
But the,
why a
the
lot of
book
the
doesn't
young
teach you
folks
that.
went out there and put their bodies on the line.
Because
Well,
they
the
Okay?
was
book doesn't
asked
teach
to.
you that. So
Because
what I was saying
they was
was,
tired of praying. They was like tired of praying. Now it's time for action. So they put their bodies on the line and let God protect them.
They
yeah,
sacrificed
a
themselves
lot
because
of
they
the
Yeah,
was
they
conformity is
asked
what I'm
to.
speaking on.
But I don't believe that God had anything to do with that. That was Malcolm asking them to put your body on the line because God said so. No
no, no,
different
no. I'm talking
than
about
Black
when they
Barber.
when no, I'm talking about the kids that took and sat at the
Right.
counters,
They were
and
asked to
didn't
do a
fight back.
peaceful
Malcolm didn't
protest.
tell them to do that. Martin told them to do that.
That's what I said,
Yeah,
Martin.
yeah,
Did I say the
100%.
same
He
wrong
said,
person?
man,
I'm
No,
sorry.
you said
I meant
Malcolm.
I meant to say Martin told them to do that. That's what I was meant to say because that's why they did it because they was misled. He was misled, so he was saying, "Y'all, come on, y'all. Let's put a fortress around this building. We're gonna use our body to protect it." You prayed for God to give you strength and wisdom. He
You're
gave
right.
you the strength, but they did not get the wisdom part. They were still bamboozled
Okay.
and fooled.
and that
Malcolm X was talking about you
Mhm.
protect yours by any means
By any means
necessary.
necessary.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, and I do believe that because
Well,
if somebody going to invade your home, guess what
Yeah.
you going to do?
Yeah.
You going to protect it
right.
by any means necessary. And as far as
Right.
Exactly.
religion
Mhm.
goes, religion is a good thing, a good construct if you're using it for what it's used for. Just like a sharp knife. I'm gonna give you an example. A butcher
Mhm.
sharp knife is a good tool to use for chopping wood, cutting stuff up, cooking chicken, and breaking down whatever. But it's also the same tool that can use to cut off limbs, to murder, to kill people. That is exactly what religion is. You misuse it, it's dangerous. You use it right, it can help you build. And that's all the Bible is instruction, guidance. So you know in your heart what to do. That's all it's a manuscript. How
Mhm.
many times have we put stuff together, didn't even look at the directions because we know how to do it. We don't need the directions. Some of us do and get it right. And then some of us have a whole bag of screws and be like, what these screws go to? You didn't look at the directions and your shit fall down. Excuse me. And your stuff fall down. But
Behavioral instructions before leaving Earth.
Yeah.
Period.
Like that.
Mhm.
I'm a pro
Shout
Period.
out to Malcolm
It's
X.
instructions
boo, boo,
on how
boo.
we supposed to treat each other.
Like,
But we don't follow that a good example, do we? We don't
no,
lead a good example either, do we?
because we
Yeah.
See,
human. We
Yeah,
gonna always miss
I don't
the mark.
follow in line with that.
you see, you have to realize and I mean in every movement throughout history, every good movement throughout history, there has always been a Judas in the bunch. Always have been. There always been somebody to turn against you.
Hmm. I know Kenny said, "What's up, Kenny?" I know Kenny said, "I like Martin and Malcolm. They both stood for something, even though I favor Malcolm more." Yeah, I feel you on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give them. They did things that were monumental that I've never done on that magnitude. So I'm still gonna give them their just due. I don't think anything is wrong with information that we uncover, but I'm never going to take away from what people were trying to do. Doesn't matter the outcome all the time because your intention is what matters.
Intentions are good.
It
And
don't always come
sometimes
out the way you think.
we make bad mistakes. Allow us to have grace
Mm-hmm.
and mercy. Allow each other to show grace and forgiveness and mercy. That's what we missing. Nobody want to show nobody grace. Nobody want to show nobody mercy. They just want to be hard, you know. And people make mistakes.
Hmm.
We all
But
do.
thank God the whole world is not like that though.
Yeah, that they are. There is a flip side. I see what you're saying. Yeah, There's another side to everything. Everybody doesn't have the same mindset to give you that. Shout out to anybody who tried to make effective change
Yeah,
in that time, no matter what the outcome was or how it worked out or didn't work out. When there's powers over your head that are stirring and controlling the narratives, a lot of these things, everything that
yeah.
some people put in, some people will never be highlighted. Some people will never be a Rosa Parks or never be announced and never be put out there. There's a lot of nameless people that have existed that try to put in some work, and change the narrative. So. I mean, anybody before me, I ain't exist in that time, so ain't too much to say. I can say what I learned or what I think, but ain't too much to say about a time I haven't, lived in.
But
So I give them
you
the
ain't
power.
lived in the time, but we benefit from all of these people inventions today. The elevator, the GPS, man, everything, even the internet, everything we do, we may not have lived in their time, but thank goodness they came along and they did what they did because we're living off of their stuff today. So that's
I
why I
just
don't
want
understand how anybody could say, "Oh, I want a world without black people, color folks, whatever." We were the mother of invention. I mean,
Mhm.
so if you want to
Freestyle
say that
Bout.
you don't want to use none of the stuff, huh? Oh, we don't want the black people. I'm glad people of color came in the world, and I'm glad
Right.
some white folks came in the world because we use those inventions every day. So we need to shout the people out that invented stuff that we don't even pay no homage to or pay no mind to. Pay no, So who's that? Benjamin Franklin didn't discover electricity. Electricity was already here. It was energy, but it was that black guy, I forget his name, that knew how to put that thing in that bulb to keep that bulb going. Benjamin thing failed, but it was that black guy. I forgot his name. Gosh, I hate forgetting people's name. Oh, that's that Gabby Penton. But he was the one that put the thing in the light bulb to keep the light shining. Benjamin couldn't do it. All he did was get struck by electricity. He was like, oh,
Yeah, I think a lot of
All
them
he did was
people.
get struck by electricity.
Yeah, I think a lot of them people came across technology, like they ran across a light bulb, and it's like, what the hell is this? And they figured out how to work, and then once they figure out how to duplicate, they was like, I'm the inventor of this. I just think a lot of this stuff just not new. We just keep into inventing the same things. And I used to laugh when people would say, well, we got ancestors who did this for you and died for you to do this and do that. And I always say, well, we got ancestors before them who died for them not to get taken, like shit taken from them. So it's just like every generation got one came before them and they all stood for something. So I was like, just imagine those people who built up that land, who built these buildings and pyramids and things we can't even explain how they feel that y'all allow somebody to just come over and take it. So it's just like, yeah, we had some people that fought for us to get back some freedom, the little freedom that we have, but we also had some people who lived free, and they was living free until somebody came over and take it. So it's just like we all got a past, and I just like, how far do we go back? We always just go back to the time that we was in chains, and I just like, yeah, that was a bad time, but I'm gonna talk about the times before we got in change. How was we living? Because that's what I'm aspired to get back to. It seemed like that's what the people aspired to that was in change to get back to that lifestyle. They wanted to be free, but instead they got tricked into this is the lifestyle you want. You want to be like these people that they showing you on television and things like that. I just don't like it. I just feel like we just missing out on so much history because they tell us what is our history. It's so many Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's, but every year we talking about them, which is great. But I want to know about the other people that came before them. Nobody talk about Martin Luther King, the original one. And they're just like, why not? Because when you start to read up on these things, you're like, damn, these people was rich. They had acres, they had land, they was doing great things, like some of them had friends that was white, all different type of races. They was working together. It was just like so mind-boggling to me. It's just like, who came along and caused this division? Like, it wasn't no white or black thing. It wasn't such thing, I'm white and I'm black. You were just you. It was just Dave, or it was just Trey. It was more like, that's what it was. So it's just like, I wish we can get back to those days. Those are the days I want to get into.
Go ahead, David, and then Ree. I know you got something to say too. I seen both of y'all kind of moving, so go ahead, Dave.
Okay, as a snake owner, right? I'm not for sure if you all know this, but um, you know, what I mean, everybody knows a snake eats rats, right?
Right, right.
But you cannot throw in you cannot throw in like five, I mean, five or some rats at a time. Even though a snake can eat rats, if a snake is occupied with one, maybe two rats or whatever like that, and all, and the other rats are free, them rats will come together and kill and possibly eat that snake or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The revolution.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So and that's my point. My point about the Malcolm X. I mean the Martin Luther King junk and everything and all. You know, I mean, we was coming up in numbers and everything and all, but in my opinion, Martin Luther King was like, um, just be sitting ducks. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I feel
Going back to the snake. You know what I mean? Instead of them rats getting together and everything, all attacking the snake, it's like, well, there's a possibility we're going to die or whatever I get and all, but you're going to get eaten maybe tomorrow. You're going to get eaten maybe the day after that. And you're going to get you understand what I'm saying?
One day at
Yeah,
a
let's do
time.
something about this
One
type of
day at a
thing. Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Right. I like the analogy.
Because
Makes sense to me.
if you know, you like, I could never been in a peaceful protest where they get hit, throw coffee, hot coffee, scalding coffee in your face, spit on, stab. They was standing. That's like you being stand there to be attacked. Who does? None of us do that. Ain't none of us. Molly going. If Molly ain't got no weapon, he going to outrun him. If Trey ain't got no weapon, he going to try to rope a dope him. I ain't got no weapon, so I'm going to fight. You know, we ain't nobody just gonna stand there and get abused or let nobody do that. I don't care what color you are. You want to try to fight back because you know if you know you're gonna die anyway. I'd rather die fighting than to
I do
stand
know a
there
few
and
people that be in fetal position when they getting their ass mollywopped too. So there's some people that you got to pick up.
I know
You
some
know,
people like that too. You know that happened too. And then they come and you know what they did? They came back and they got the rest of us. And the rest of us came, like that gang had 5. We bought a gang of 15, and then we mollywopped their ass. You know, it's just like we fought harder. If you gonna fight, well, we gonna fight harder. Like
yeah,
Huey P. Newton said, guns. Everybody would say guns. You got guns? Well, we got guns too. And then with our inventors and our technology, our people are so smart, we invented the lasers and stuff. But because of integration, we invented it and then gave it to our enemy. Here you go, now you can wipe us all out.
well, a lot of patents and all that type of stuff that actually, damn, David, with that T, you just don't know how to stop. But anyway, with a lot of patents and stuff, things that would put you in a position of ownership or being marked as this and that, I don't expect my enemy to make it easy. I'm not saying nothing about this is right or anything like that, but I wouldn't I wouldn't expect my enemy to make it easy for me to do anything. It sucks, but I'm glad that there's as much record as we have of all of the people of that have influence on things that we utilize every single day. You know, I'm glad we do have as much as we do. I know there's so much more, but I'm grateful in my generation to at least have as much as we have. Um, AQ said before the insurrection, Trump said the phrase "stand up, stand down," and no one knew what that was. Military command slash warning before historically going to war.
Okay.
My
Stand up and
famous saying,
stand
they don't
down.
stop making guns and when they made yours. Every time's forever changing. I get that, AQ. Time's forever changing. Yeah, but I'm grateful for the information that we do have, the things that we are able to tap into and know that's a fact, as opposed to like Molly was saying, people telling us what our history is and all that type of stuff. Uh, as a younger person, when I couldn't ask questions in school about stuff, and you was sent to the office, you was disruptive, you was going against the grain, you was those 4 or 5 things in my head. It already separated me from something I had to conform to. Because your mama gonna get arrested or your parent gonna get arrested if your ass ain't going. You're gonna have some type of disciplinary action if you ain't there and on time every day and all that type of stuff. It automatically separated me from the source. Cause I'm like, damn, I gotta do this for 12 years and I can't ask you a question. So, and then when I realized the teachers didn't know, I used to get sent to the office a lot and my mom would laugh about it but be mad about it at the same time because you're still like disrupting something. I would tell teachers, even at my young age, we can look it up together and then we can like talk about it. But if you pretty much saying if you don't know, and I see a teacher at my young age get stuck on something, we both locking eyes seeing that you know, I know you don't know, but you're not gonna say you don't know. You know, I was one of the people to be like, well, we can figure it out. But it was disruptive if you went against, the teacher. So I kind of seen that from an early age for real. Like seeing what was going on from an early age. So I'm glad we have the information we do.
We got another video up.
Yeah, we do. It's queued up. Oh, thank you, Rashad. You can comment too. You ain't gotta just DM me. You can comment too, and then tap in on the conversation.
You ever tried to speak life into someone and you realize they can talk themselves out of everything? They have an excuse for why they can't start or won't do anything or any idea. And then by the end of the convo, they saw your input as criticism rather than genuinely wanting to see them thrive. I realized to never give unwarranted advice or speak life into someone unwarranted. Most people see that as you putting down who they currently are. You ever tried to speak life into someone and you realize?
Ooh, yes, Lord.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, yes, Lord. But you know what? After a while, and you see they don't have their own best interests at heart, you know how to back away.
Can I see that one more time? Unfortunately, somebody called me and I came in at the very end. I'm sorry. I'm just asking.
We
if
rock
it's
with you
possible.
here, so we can give it to you one more time. Let Auntie Felicia finish, then we'll play it again.
Oh, I'm finished. Go ahead.
Okay, we can go ahead and play it again.
You ever tried to speak life into someone and you realize they can talk themselves out of everything? They have an excuse for why they can't start or won't do anything or any idea. And then by the end of the convo, they saw your input as criticism rather than genuinely wanting to see them thrive. I realized to never give unwarranted advice or speak life into someone unwarranted. Most people see that as you putting down who they currently are.
No, even though it doesn't necessarily tie to today, because Molly was saying he may not necessarily put up that link, we can still utilize it and tap in on what he said because the sentiments on the video still hold strong to me, even though it might not be segue to what we're talking about today. I still think it's a nice solid close off because we talk about this a lot on this platform. So, shoot, Ree, if you want to go, somebody, I see a couple different faces. I don't really know the pick, but Ree, if you got any sentiments about what you heard, we can pass it around.
When he said speak life into someone that's unwarranted, if they giving you a bunch of excuses, then just don't keep bothering. Maybe they are working on something. You don't know. We don't know what somebody's doing behind closed doors or what they're trying to strive for because we don't have that person's vision. So sometimes it's best to keep our opinions and our comments sometimes to ourselves. Let's see where it's going to go. And now, if you going and I see you about to fall off a cliff, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Trey, there's a cliff down there," and you be like, "Okay, all right," and you keep going. Then that's on you.
Yeah, I got the 2020, so I might be warning you about it. I might be doing extra looking for my friends that can't see as far. So I'm gonna be one of the people that's trying to warn you about something. When you say something about walking into a burning building, I'm gonna tell you it's smoke before we walk. While we walking up to it, I'm gonna tell you before we walk in that there's smoke. Or if I know that something don't feel right, I feel you though. I like that.
Niggas are barbecuing up in here. It smells like a barbecue on the grill.
Right. What the fuck is burning in here? I'm already David Funny Man Green, the camera's on you, bro. What type of sentiments you got? But I want to hear from you.
I'm probably wrong, but I took it as, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, sometimes you can be like, oh shoot, did you lose weight? But like, no, actually, I gained 20 pounds. You know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, always saying something negative when you're trying to, and you know what I mean, if they're gonna keep on um projecting negativity, then just let them have it.
No, it was about advice, of somebody giving good advice to somebody and somebody taking that advice as a put down. You know, that's that's what that is. You give somebody advice. That's just like the truth. You can give somebody good advice. It's up to them to take it, whether to take it or leave it. Just like the truth. You tell somebody the truth, it's up to them to take it or leave it.
I agree with you on that one, Auntie Felicia. The thing about the truth is the truth. The thing about the truth is that it always will be the truth, whether they receive it or not.
Exactly.
So the thing about it is, the thing about it for me is sometimes I feel like that I just want to plant the seed. It don't matter whether you receive it. I've now planted the seed, and when you become at a place in your life to receive it, then you receive it. There's a lot of things that people things that have been said to me that were said to you in your youth. Imagine if when you were young, all the advice your aunties, your uncles, and all of them gave you, that at the time they gave it to you, you weren't ready to receive it. So therefore, but now in your adulthood, now you're ready to receive it. Now you understand exactly what they were talking about. Now, it's the thing. So do you still keep the truth away from that person just because they're not ready to receive it? No, you got to keep on telling them, because you'll feel a lot worse that you saw that ahead of time and you're trying to give them that truth, and later on you didn't say something and then they fall into that same trap. And it's to their detriment. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime you're giving advice, if you truly are giving advice that you really care about that person, that you really want nothing but the best for that person, it don't matter if they receive it or not, because but it's still your job, because you have a real love for that person, to tell them the truth, whether they're ready for it or not, in my opinion. So, it sometimes people are just, they're going to grow into it. But there's many things that I was told as a child that now make absolute sense. You know what I'm saying? Or told in the beginning of business, or told in the beginning of whatever the case may, in the beginning of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I listened to half the stuff people told me when I first got married. It would have made things a lot easier. Now me and my wife are there. But yeah, I wish I had listened. A lot of people, one thing somebody told me the other day is get help as early as possible. So get it.
Yeah.
Somebody's willing to give it to you, take it.
I think when anybody who solicits information to me also has to be open and considerate of the reality that I see. It's clear that somebody that was on this earth before me has probably had more experiences and more stimuli to lead them, like in their decision making, or even deciding what it is they want to pass down to you. But I need that equal balance as well, because especially in our communities, from what I see personally, I can't speak for everybody's family and everything like that, but from what I see, it's more so of a listen. Number one, the don't do what I do, just do as I say thing, which kind of cancels out a lot of the credibility from information that's being shared. But just the notion of take the advice, go with it. This is the way you need to go, and that's it. Or shut up. About anything else. Like if you don't go in a certain, if you don't take advice, is what I've seen. Or you want to consider your own direction. It's more so from dynamics that I've seen been taken as defiance, going against the grain, trying to, or not listening, period. I just want to see an equal level of willingness to listen to the person that you're soliciting information to. Because if you don't know anything about their mindset or their outlook, the reason why they're making the steps that they're making or anything, then you're doing a disservice to yourself as the teacher and them as the student, because you know, a lot of people want to dismiss and cut off. What's up, Reed?
I want to piggyback on what you said because I heard you say it like 4 times. Solicit when you soliciting help or advice for somebody, but that video was talking about not soliciting people giving you advice that you wasn't asking for. Like remember we was driving and I was trying to tell you where to go. You was like, I know where to go. I got this.
Yeah,
That's something like that. And I had to sit back and be quiet and let you go because you said you got it. You know, that's like me. Oh, you should do this. You should do that. You should do that. And you be like, I got this. I know where I'm going. I'm gonna go this way. Okay. And then and then I could be telling you that because I'm looking at the GPS and it says traffic. You're going to run into a traffic jam, and you be like, I got this. I'll be quiet, and then boom, boom, we're in a traffic jam. All because you didn't solicit any information.
Yeah.
But I give you, right? What you saying, Molly?
No, I just think that the main point that went over is that he's not giving you advice on what you do. He encouraging you to do what you saying you want to do. So somebody saying, I want to lay down this track, man, but I ain't got no ride to get to the studio. And I say, shit, I got a ride. I'll take you there. Shoot, what do you got to be there? I take, oh, yeah, but I ain't got the money. Now he coming up with another excuse. How much it cost? Man, that stuff for like $100, so I can't. Nah, don't worry about that. I got that. I got the money. Yeah, but nah, man, my voice a little cracked tonight. I got to try. So that's the people he talking about the people that say they want to gain weight. Like, I want to gain muscle and weight. And I say, he say, okay, let's hit the gym. I can't hit the gym today. We can go Friday then. Oh, Friday, I got to do it. I keep coming up with excuses, even though he coming up with solutions. No matter how many solutions he come up with, I'm going to always have an excuse. That's what he's saying in the video. Those type of people. So if somebody saying they want to do something, like you said, you want to throw the show. You ain't played, you got auntie and you set the date and you locked it in. But it's other people say, oh, I ain't got the money. I don't really know that many people in Carolina. I got to talk to my auntie, but that's just keep on making excuses. He talking about those type of people. That's what I took from the video.
Okay, I think I interpreted the video wrong.
Yeah. But sometimes people are working silence. They work because a lot of people say, oh, she just talking. She just making excuses. Oh, this is always an excuse for this. There's a time for everything. And sometimes it's just not that time. Sometimes you got to wait when it's that time. And then when it's that time, you go. That's go time. You got to out. I can't close. You got to wait for go time.
Right. I see Rodney raise his hand too. So if you done saying what you were saying, Ree, I seen Rodney raise his hand. Go ahead, Rodney.
A lot of times people have no intentions of doing what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with two different people. The thing is, people say, oh, I want to do this, or I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna do this show, and I got all these things going on, but then they really have no intentions of doing any of it. So, but the thing about what you're saying is, if I'm in the car with you and I tell you that brick wall is coming up, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you because, I'm not telling you just because I want to give you unsolicited advice. I'm telling you because I don't want you to get hurt, you or us. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you these things because I see where you're headed. You know what I'm saying? I see where you're headed and you're not headed in the right direction. So, just because it's unsolicited advice doesn't mean it's not warranted. It's just like I told somebody that, there's like, well, my husband is doing this and that, and I can tell that it's going to, but I don't want to say anything because, well, both of y'all deserve to run into that fucking wall. I'm sorry for cursing. I'm trying to work on that. But both of y'all deserve to run right into that wall. Then if you're not going to say something, so it's two sides about it. If you're going to be a part of somebody's life and you're going to be a part of what we consider, anything, a team, a friendship, association, whatever the case may be, then any advice I give you, whether it's warranted or unwarranted, you got to realize that we're working together. I'm not your enemy. I'm not working against you. If you're in a marriage, a friendship, a partnership in any way, or a business relationship, a lot of people get too confused where they start thinking people are the enemy that are part of your group. You know what I'm saying? And then now every time I say something, you take it as a dig. You take it as an insult. You take it as this because you decided that we were enemies. My comment is because I love you, but now you've decided we're enemies. You've decided that what I'm saying is not right. You know what I'm saying? But now you're not even listening to what I'm saying because you already have that in your mind. That happens in marriage all the time. The greatest thing the devil can do in a marriage is convince y'all that y'all are enemies and not working together. And that's the same thing in business, friendship, everything. So, you know, if you decide that we are enemies, then it doesn't matter if I'm giving you good advice or not, because you've already decided that I'm your enemy.
Right. Well, and you solid on what you're saying. The point I was speaking from is more of the mindset of people, uh, people that are around you, sitting around you, loving you, whatever. That's why I mentioned some of the things that I like have seen in different dynamics, like right around me and everything. Is more so of I'm speaking on my more so the mindset. Now that y'all talking, I realize I got a different interpretation on the video and stuff, and it maybe set my mind somewhere with it. But more so of people needing to trust that you have your own, that you're solid on your own movement, because they can see whatever or think they see whatever, and then you ended up pivoting around that wall that they thought that you didn't pay attention to or know was there. So I'm speaking on the analogy of people can share information, and people can, and I'll always be open, and I would want people around me to be open to whatever it is people have to say. But it's the rebuttal that comes from you being sure about the way that you want to navigate and not accepting that. But you can hear it, you can take it in, you don't have to argue with it. But it's when people want to override what you think you should do with yourself because of how they view what they see, view what they view down the road. What if I'm the only one in the car with 2020? For instance, just as an example, that can actually clear. You might think you see something, but I see it a lot sharper. And I can listen to what you're saying because you're someone, obviously, if we're using the car analogy, you're in the car with me. So you're obviously someone that's a part of the movement for a reason, because we wouldn't be in the same car. Definitely wouldn't be driving you if you were, or whatever. But if I'm the person that, is driving or something like that, not using that, I'm just using the example you gave or whatever, Reed. But people need to be also okay with in your movements that you know how you want to navigate, and it's not going to set everyone around you back. Like with the example of like traffic or something like that, something that will put everybody back at the same time. So I would want people to just give you your grace if you know what you're doing.
I think they missed it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I think like the beginning, like when he said speak life into people. I don't know if some people projecting a person, is you the person speaking life into the person? Because that's how I'm looking at it. Or is you the person that's being spoken to? So it sounds like Reese more speaking on the person being spoken to. So from my experience, I have people that spoke life into me, like my brother, he'd get me going sometimes. And I'm talking about sometimes it be shit that dudes will fight over. It's like, nah, you need to do this. But that helps me. I accept that. I know he love me, but some people can't take that. And that's what I'm going to just play the beginning of the video. He said, you ever try to speak life into someone?
You ever tried to speak life into someone and you realize they can talk themselves out of everything?
Meaning that you're talking yourself out of everything. Like, no matter what it is, he's speaking life into you. So I just like, if somebody's speaking life into somebody, how's that one? This is the time. Basically, this is the time that you down. This is the time that you need a time somebody lift you up. And I think we all been in that position. Maybe it's with your kids. Your kids might have a bad day in school or got into a fight or great, but you can speak life into them, and you don't want to hear no excuses. You don't want your kids say, oh, I can't do this because of this. Oh, I can't get that beat up because of this. Or I can't stop fighting because such and such keep talking to me like this. You try to teach them and speak life into them that they can get past that. And I just think that as an adult, we just don't want to feel like a kid anymore. When people try to talk life into them, they feel like a child now. They feel like you ain't got to tell me this. I already know that already. Well, if you know it, then do it. I do it when I want to get to it. It's like, nah, like V said, we on the same team. I want to see you strive, and I want you to put that same energy into me when I'm down. I want you to be able to talk.
Put it into me when I'm up too. You ain't got to just speak life to me when I'm down. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
keep
saying?
me there,
For
but
sure.
I'm gonna accept it. So I think that, we spoke on one side. Did y'all ever been on the other side? And Reese, did you ever speak life
Mhm.
into somebody and they just turned it down no matter what you said? How did that feel? How do you feel about that?
It's a hurting thing because I'm not here to hurt you, don't want to hurt you, just want to see the best for you. And sometimes God send people your way to be blessings, but because of your stubbornness or your ability not to see, you lose out on it. It's a hurtful thing. I try to be a blessing to the people that I'm around, and I wait till my heart says do it, or when I think I'm hearing, and I act on what I'm hearing. And just like if I was to say to somebody on the street, here's $50, and they look at me, say somebody that I know can see, I'm thinking they're homeless, I'm thinking they're outside of 7-Eleven, get them $50, and they give it back to me and say, I don't need your money. What you doing this for? I'm trying to help. You said you got a sign that say you hungry. No, that's okay. Nah, bro, keep your money, because I don't feel like going
Mhm.
into the store. It hurt because you was like, dang, all I was trying to do is help. That's all.
Mhm.
I was trying to love. That's rejecting love. So I'm not gonna say help. I'm gonna say love from now on. Help me change my thinking. Love me into my thinking. There you go.
Okay, you better put that on the book
Hey,
or something. I ain't
some,
never heard that.
sometimes the truth is brutal. It ain't
Mhm.
always love. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the truth is that, but that's the great thing about the truth, though. Eventually, you'll realize the truth is the truth.
It's
Like
love.
nah, the truth isn't always love, baby. It's not. It's not always love. The truth is the truth. And sometimes it can be because if you're doing something, you're going down the wrong road or you're going down the wrong path. The truth is the truth. What you're fucked up. I'm still trying to work on cursing. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying with you
Wait a
delivering it
second.
to me,
I'm
that's what I'm
still
saying. The delivery, the truth stands alone. But if you
see.
tell me the
Here's the
truth, you
thing.
tell me with the love, right?
I hate when people police things. That's a deflection. You can't police how I say it. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. Don't It doesn't matter how I say it. I don't have to say it like when it's the truth, it's just the truth. Just because you don't like how I say it doesn't change the fact that it's the truth. And if you're too involved, we saw the video where it's called tone police, where you're too worried about how I said it and not worried about what I said. You know what I'm saying? That is another deflection. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I said it. If it's the truth, it's the truth. And the problem is people like to be lied to. There's people that come and just lie all the time about everything, and people just accept it because they like it. Because I'm saying what you want to hear, opposed to saying to you the truth. A lot of times people don't like the truth. The truth is uncomfortable. The truth is it makes you have to think about what you're doing. If I just come on here and lie to you all day, just hop in the comments and lie all day, that's nothing. You're not helping nobody. You just lying to them. That's weak. That's a small-minded person. So I mean, if you are that type of person, then that's what you are. But the truth is the truth. Some people come and tell the truth, and some people just lie because they just don't have the capacity to tell the truth.
But you know what, Rodney? For me,
Yes, ma'am.
the truth, the truth and love goes hand in hand because when you truly, and I mean when you truly love someone, you don't want to see them get hurt in any form or fashion. You want nothing but the best for them. And sometimes, yes, the truth can be brutal. Okay. And that's where the love comes in at because I love you enough to tell you the truth instead of lying to you.
Mhm.
See, so I don't care how brutal the truth is, it still comes from love when you tell that person the truth.
What's up,
Okay,
Rashad?
I respect that. I
That's
respect
what I
that, Miss
said.
Auntie
That's what I
Felicia.
was trying to say. Exactly that. Thank you.
I know Rashad said,
Yeah, I
"Oh, for
like that.
sure, people will sit around a squad full of cappers. Then when they meet the person that ain't going to cap, they start going left. Yeah, and there's always
Hundred
going to be
percent,
somebody that
Rashad.
go against the grain and reset things. Sometimes people need a reset. So I'm
Yeah,
off
I
for
hear
them.
that. people say.
See, and I love a person enough to where I can be brutal with the truth. Okay? Because if I love you, I'm going to tell you nothing but the truth. Nothing but, so help me God. Nothing but the truth, no matter how bad it may be.
See, but you one of them. You one of those people too that already carry a time. I think I gave you those kudos before. You always come in here with the same consistent. You always come in as the same consistent you. Which, and I say that about myself too. I come in, I give people the same consistent me, so I know if I need some raw ass advice, not the little shit that make me feel bad about some shit that I know I'm fucking up on. I would ask somebody like you because I know you'd be like, nigga. You might not say nigga, but you'd be like, bruh, this ain't right. Straighten this up. Tighten up here. I don't have time for nobody to try. Oh, it'll get better. I need you to tell me what you see that you think I don't. You know. But also, like I said, on the flip side of that, people, if you know, if you're not asking or whatever, or somebody say something to you, be open to what they're saying, but let the person you giving advice to also go about their business after you already extended yourself and gave them what you tried to give them. You know, some people got walked themselves into a brick wall. Sometimes it needs to happen for people to get that true reset to be able to. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
But I know I can ask somebody like you, Auntie Felicia. You be like, you'll give me the raw dog truth, and you won't have no reason or need to feel like you got to sugarcoat it. Like I just know I'm gonna get the answer like I need if I were to ask you something. You know. So I like that stuff. I can count on people. I can, you know, I like that.
Yeah, I ain't hear much. When I was a kid, my mother would say some of the things real nice. Hey, honey, y'all come over here. Y'all clean up, get these things up. Make sure y'all wash them dishes, clean y'all room up, and make them bed. I ain't hear none of that. I'm in the game. But the minute she said, y'all get the fuck up and get this, I hear every last word.
Tighten up real
I hear
quick.
you be jumping. You hear everything. It's like I heard everything.
Get to
right?
it. Yeah, get to
Yeah,
that
but
shit.
then as adults, it just like, I don't know. I see some people that's like, when they get talked to in that loud tone, they don't hear nothing. And they want you to talk to them in the other form. That's the only way they can hear it. It's like, dang, it flips. Like I'm happy mom screaming at me because I'm going to get the message regardless. And I deal with a lot of crazy coaches that used to be cussing at us. Get back, get the... They ain't care, so you got to hear it. So I think some people just ain't used to it. But it just amazed me that kids, man, they hear everything when you scream. When you get a dog, don't yell at me. I can't hear when people talk to me like, nigga, when your mother was talking to you like this.
Your ass complied in, Stanley. I don't want to hear that shit now.
You know,
yeah, I'm already hit though.
That's amazing, though. I see that a
lot. Sometimes people really have to fuck around and find out type shit. I understand. Yeah, I understand too. I understand. Everybody can use a reset in life, you know. Sometimes everybody reaches a point where they, you know. I just like the even balance of whatever. As much as you push out, as you should be willing to receive just as much. That's what I stand by. That's what keeps me navigating correctly with everybody around me. My willingness to hear, but don't think that you ain't gonna get something back too for you to be able to consume if you got me soliciting. I mean, you soliciting advice to me or giving me advice, quote unquote.
Yeah. Like I got cussed out. Somebody asked me, "Hey, such and such, what do you think?" And I told them what I think. Then they cussed me out.
Yeah.
This was nice. You didn't say this. You just went into what you did. Well, you asked me what I thought, and I just gave you an opinion. I learned now to be like, "Oh yeah, that's nice. Everything, that's nice." Because some people don't take it or don't want to hear it. But maybe some people just want to hear it. That's nice. I don't know.
That part. I don't know when you played the music, Molly, because when I came back in and refreshed, I was at the end part of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the flyers. I don't know how long you had the music playing, if you was trying to cue us up or not. But I'm gonna go ahead and read the flyers. Everybody, we got Wild One performing live at Friday Night's Laughs. This is on February 20th. I'm gonna say it for the last time. It is my birthday on the 20th, so I'm glad that we'll actually be there. And I can see Funny Man Green. Oh no, well actually this one is the company, so I won't be for this one. I don't think. We'll talk about that after the show. February 20th, though, is the event day, and it's at 249 Virginia Avenue in Cumberland, Maryland. You got a few people that's going to be in attendance. It's going to be David Funny Man Green, the man that you see, you know, on the screen, or maybe behind this flyer, but he, you know, in the house with us. Tay Boogie, Kirby Wilkins, Hilarious Omar, and you have Rod Uncensored. I'm surprised that I can actually remember that name. Music by Cumberland's own Jessica Schultz, and you have DJ Blaze on the ones and twos. The same advice I'm soliciting all the time is to save that $5 if you can and get your early ticket, because this is a BYOB event. So if you do drink and you are bringing something to the house, that $5 could help. But if you got it, they got two options. You can still get your tickets at the door for $25. All right, this is the Crab Queen right here. This is the extension of David. This is David's sister that has her own entity. Everybody on here has something to offer, and if you know, I don't know nobody that don't like to eat. Now, everybody can't eat seafood, but she does have other options on the menu as well. And I asked David, I made a joke about it. I said, is this what the food really going to come out looking like? He said, yeah, because, you know, so she is bringing this type of quality. Everything looks good. Everything presents well. It's a nice flyer as well. With her entity being the Crab Queen and everything, it's about good laughs, good drinks, and good food. There's crab cake egg rolls. You got fried wings with fries, seafood boils, which are pre-ordered. So you have to reach out to David Funnyman Green for information on pre-ordering that if you are going to be at this event. Now, this one, the other one is a little different, but this event I'll be able to be at. So I'm definitely going to be in line trying to get something. But they have different options in terms of food and stuff. That will be a part of this event. So you will be able to get food and stuff at David's event. Sponsored by the Crab Queen. All right, this is the Crusaders of Comedy on Saturday, February 14th. You got a few people in attendance. You got Jerry Lee Harper, Ace Jackson, Funnyman Green, Hugh Nix, Connor Williams, and Swiss Richard. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Showtime starts at 6:30 p.m. Advanced tickets you can get for $15. They also got the option of getting tickets at the door. For this location, it's going to be Shepherdstown Community Club, 102 E. German Street, Shepherdstown, West Virginia, on the second floor. Sponsored by Merchant Services, with a number listed below for further details. All right, y'all. This is the Valentine's Day dinner and comedy night. Like I say, they trying to give y'all some grace and give y'all some time, because some of y'all are taking y'all significant others out at a certain time. So whether you're taking them out early in the evening or later in the night, you got two options on still catching this comedy show. This is sponsored by Let's Get Ready to Funny Production, which is Phil Page's entity. He's the host of this platform. And you can get further information from him and scan this QR code if you want to get direct information off the screen. You got this event will be headlined by Miss Beverly, Miss Chocolate White, one of the best female comedians of the year. The lady that you see above my screen, the queen of this show, will be one of the features. Althea McFarland, DMV's favorite. You have it will also be featuring Brian Birch, one of DC's funniest. This event has ticket prices for $25, or couples can come in 2 for $40 at Quantico Gardens. The address for this location is 3987 Richmond Highway in Stafford, Virginia, 22554. Reservations info below, the email and the telephone number for reservation info. All right, y'all. This is the pre-Mother's Day Your Mama's So Crazy comedy show. This will be at Downtown Cultural Arts Center on Saturday, May 9th. You got the numbers listed below to reach out to DJ Dark, DJ B-Man, and DJ Smooth, down listed below in purple. It's $40 for the early bird tickets, and it's $50 at the door. They have lemon, pepper, and salmon rice pilaf included that comes with the ticket price. You got a few people on the roster. Like I said, instead of one man on the ones and twos, you got three of them. So I know this is going to be popping. You got the Gwen Factor, you got Xavier Morgan, you got Althea McFarland, the queen of our show right here. It will be hosted by Bobby Brooks and headlined by Susan the Dutch Hawkins. All right, Big Mike's Comedy Bash. Now, I'm gonna give you a kudos, Reed, because I'm seeing you on a lot of flyers. I'm seeing and hearing a lot of action this year, so I'm definitely gonna give you your kudos and your flowers and everything for that. It's going to be a few people on the roster. It's going to be hosted by Miss Woo Woo. You have Althea McFarland in attendance, also featuring special guest comedians Black Diamond and Dale. There's a birthday celebration as well for Big Mike at the Pavilion, 4919 Suitland Road in Suitland, Maryland. Food and drinks will be available. You get your seats early. You can reach out to the lady that you see above my screen, Althea McFarland, or you can reach out to Big Mike at 202-706-4340. Doors open at 7, and the event starts at 8. That was done, my bad. This is Skit Happens, everybody. This is coming from, and this information is coming from Blue Phoenix, which we can give you the information if you choose to reach out to her directly. But they also had a link and email down below, which is redvisioncinema@gmail.com. This is for any of those improv actors, any of those comedians, people that you might see like Jess Hilarious, Jack Too Funny, some of the people who have transferred from being internet sensation and making the reality into the physical world, actually being on stage. So I definitely recommend sources like this because you never know where you'll be discovered. You never know where you'll be found at. There's a couple features to this. This is open call. There is no deadline until all the spots on this event are filled. So, you can reach out to Blue Phoenix herself. We can give you the information if you need it, or for inquiries or submissions, you can send your information to Red Vision Cinema. The only thing that they ask is that you be from ages 17 and up. So nobody below the age of 17 is the only really restriction that they have. This is online, like I said, it is open call, and it will continue until all the spots are filled. So take advantage if you can. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, like we tell you. What's up, Reed?
Before we do that, I got one more announcement. We don't have the flyer for this announcement, but I can give you the rundown and the details.
Oh, you can do that. Yes, you can. Go ahead.
McFarlane Production is presenting a Love and Happiness spring comedy show in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's May 23rd. From 7, doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime starts at 8. The event from the doors close at 12. It's $40 in advance for your tickets. $45 at the door. And this meal, food will be served there. You have your food combination, everything will be served. It's going to be hosted by the Gwen Factor, headlining myself, featuring Mimi Manning, Mimi Manning, Jawan Cap, and also special guest Mr. Gerald Brown. And the other host of the special guests are people that they pop through. You never know who you're going to see down there. And the Morning Mac Show will be full effect. Get your Molly Moss, get your shades of blue. We won't make it do what it do, y'all. We're going to have a good time. That's why it's called Love and Happiness, baby. Yes. Spring comedy show.
I told you I'll be down there.
You coming with us? And let me give y'all the address so y'all know I ain't bullshit. It's called Terminal 8 Lounge, Bar and Lounge, and it's at 2109 Eventbrite Road, Raleigh, North Carolina. 27606 is the zip. What? We're gonna be in there like swimwear. We're gonna be turned up your butt. We're gonna be
not up your ass though. Come on, man.
And the food is going to be off the chain. This makes me want to fast, or if I could, to May the 23rd, but I know that's impossible. But the food is going to be, I haven't had no good home cooking until I cook it myself, but it's nice when somebody else cooking.
And this lady right here up on the corner of the screen at the top, right next to Rita, is going to be doing, blessing the food and preparing and everything. So I'm excited. Anybody that got some bark behind their bite like that, I know can throw down in the kitchen. If you can throw down with your words, I know you can throw down there with,
She makes a nice curved chicken. I like that. I want some dessert.
Whatever you're making.
We're going to do it, y'all. It's going to be door prize, and we're going to have the 50-50 raffle. That's for y'all that like to play. So, hey, get in that 50-50 raffle.
Sounds good to me. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is tomorrow, Freaky Friday. We do this Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 12:30. Y'all know what it is. Thank you for tapping in.
Freaky Friday. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You watching on YouTube. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace. Be
Thank
safe.
you for tapping in, Rashad. I appreciate that.
Y'all.
All right.
Don't go nowhere, Auntie.